and welcome to whatever this is. Hi, there we go. Boom, it's working this time. We got the good one. Oh, shit. What's up, guys? How are we doing? We're doing good? Everybody's doing good? Fuck yeah, we did it. We're here. Another day, another dollar. Boom, baby. Corey, 11 p.m., right? Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah. Can we make it like 11:15-ish? I'll cut off right here and I'll go to you. I had some delay, but we got a really awesome show for you today. JBTV, fuck yeah, I will be over on his channel. Go hit him up immediately after this. Hello, Whizbang. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, so JB, I'll just come right off of this show and just hop right into yours. So mine might run a little bit because mine's 3 hours, so it'll just hit probably right around that, but then I'll jump over to you. Yeah, good show, guys. See you next week. Fuck yeah. That was it. That was all we needed. Yeah, I do Discord. I'll pop in. I got the Discord. I got your channel. That's how I did it last time. Discord, baby. I'm going to try to maybe put a Discord on this channel. I feel like we need a Discord, right? We're the fucking people that need the Discord. We got a great one for you tonight. It's going to be real heavy on the MMA, so if you're an MMA fan, you're going to love that. If not, you're going to hate it, but guess what? I don't give a fuck. Literally, Blood Christmas is tomorrow. Now, the thing about the MMA world is that it's been done for a while now. Like, it's been on hold. It's on hiatus. There was going to be some fights, and then there wasn't. And now we're back, and tomorrow we have a UFC event. Yep, Tony Fergie. A lot of people like him. I'm a Gaethje man. I like Ferguson, but I'm into that. Tuesday's show was fucking hilarious. Yeah, Joe Cocozello is a legend, and Joe got what I can only call drunk for him, which is super awesome. And here we go. Hold on. I'm just we're gonna just jump right into our guest. Our guest is really awesome tonight. I don't want to brag, but this is a really big get for us. And it's awesome to there. I will show you. So we actually have an MMA guy coming on. His name is Corey Cuppy, and he is fucking awesome. He fights for LFA currently, which is dope. I'm going to find if I can find the... All right, let's see here. Hold on, we're going to mute that. It's at like 6'10". So this guy was a guy he's in LFA, which is one of the promotions that is owned by the UFC. But the thing that like stood out to me is I went and watched this guy, and this guy executed what I can only call one of the craziest awesome things I've ever seen. He executed an up kick and then immediately went down to a Superman punch down. Now, I had never seen a Superman punch. You were here for the virus take? Oh, really? Well, we'll get to that. The virus take will be later, but we'll hit that. Long story short, probably accidentally released from a lab, like it was a lab accident, not a bioweapon. The Dems are trying to sandbag the lockdown so that the economy shuts down. So the Republicans are leveraging that against a war with China because that's how we balance our budget in this country is with blood. That's all right? And we're going to get into more of shit like this, but for right now, we're going sports, baby. Yeah, Joe was there. He was really great. Mikey Two Milks is hosting. Shout out to that. That's super rad. So yeah, watch this fucking shit, dude. This is fucking great. This is Corey Cuppy, who's about to join us, and this is him doing one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my fucking life. He's on the bottom.
The bottom.
Here it comes. Up kick. Basically knocks dude out with an up kick.
Some abuse.
Right? Hits him with up kicks on the way down. Gets up. Boom. And watch this. Superman punch down. I've never fucking seen a Superman punch down. And that's the thing that got this guy on my radar. And then when I reached out to him, he was super awesome, and that's fucking rad. So we are going to give him a call right now, and we will see what's up. Let's go here. Wait. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Here we go. Right? Here we go.
Yo.
Whoa, what up, man? How the fuck are you?
What's up? What's up?
Corey fucking Cuppy in the flesh. How are you, buddy?
Good, man. Good. Just,
fuck yeah. Are you? How excited are you to have MMA
quarantine.
coming back? There we go. Boom. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, perfect. How excited are you to have MMA coming back?
Oh my gosh.
Right? I
I
never
I
knew.
was
I knew how much I loved it, I thought, but I didn't know until it was gone for a while.
right, right. Well, I know we usually get it every week, so it's kind of like, uh, I don't know, it's kind of just like a part of the weekend now, you know?
Tell the listeners, because I was unfamiliar with you until I started watching some of the LFA stuff. Tell the listeners who you are so they know.
Well, my name is Corey Cuppy. I am a welterweight, and I am soon going to be taking the UFC crown from that ugly, boring wrestler named Kamaru. And yeah, my background is sport karate. I won 3 world titles in that, and now I'm murking people with my submission game.
Yeah,
I
you are.
have 7 submissions, and then I just got a TKO in LFA from the bottom with elbows. Times Planet
That was that
Jiu-Jitsu.
St. Louis
So
fight, right?
yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
and that I was telling them about that, and I showed the clip a little bit earlier. It's like that was when you came on my spectrum. Like, because first off, like I'm watching, so I'll take you back. My buddy Chris Burns, who does the Sunday Night Fights podcast with me, he is a ref, and he refs in some of the LFA events. Right? He was actually refing at that one you were at. Or sorry,
Okay.
he was a judge that night. But he judges, he refs, he's in the athletic commission here in Minnesota, right? And so he was talking about this, and we were talking about how we're going to watch it. And so I'm watching it, and I see you come on, and immediately I'm like, oh, all right, we'll see how this Corey's doing. Because, of course, I spell my name Corey, and if you spell it different, I'm going to judge you because that's a Corey thing.
Right.
I had this guy that
I
told me
feel
his
I
name
feel
was
you on
Corey
that.
once, and I asked him how he spelled it, and he said, why? And I said, what's your real name? And he said, Dan. People don't understand that if they're not Corey's, but asking another Corey how they spell it, that's kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's big. If you don't have an E in it, you don't even count,
Right.
as far as I'm concerned.
Agreed. I don't care if you spell it with a K or end it with an I. If you ain't got an E in there, we're done.
Exactly.
But so I'm watching that LFA event, and I watch this fight, and I see your name, and I'm like, oh, Corey. All right, cool. I'm going to watch Corey and judge Corey. And so I kind of went in like trying to like play you as the heel in my mind. I'm like, this guy doesn't spell his name with a C. What does he know? And then during that fight, I witnessed what I can only call shades of Tony Ferguson when you fucking basically knock this dude out on his feet with an up kick. And then you scramble to your feet and do a Superman punch down to his abdomen. And I was like, all right. And then you ended up finishing that dude with elbows from the ground.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, a lot of people like I was telling them in the pre-fight, I was telling Pat and them, I was like, I'm not like any shit you've ever seen. Like I don't fight like these people. Like I just do what I do crazy stuff, and that dude was really good grappler, really strong, and I was kind of just chilling, and he hit me with a couple good elbows, but like I knew I was gonna fuck him up, like no, like but when I signed the contract, like all that, like yeah, whatever, fighters have confidence, but like in the fight, like I knew like I'm about to fuck you up with some elbows, like here. But I
So like not
wanted
only did you know you were going to fuck him up, you knew exactly how you were going to fuck him up?
well, yeah, no, like yeah, I'm on my back and he's chilling, but I didn't want to like start unleashing him early and like let him know like, yo, I'm coming with the elbows tonight, you know. So I was letting him burn some energy, seeing if he made any mistakes, and then he, I could tell he was very uncomfortable in my guard, and then he went to stand up, and like I don't know, maybe he just like he didn't think to get up kicked in the face. You know, nobody does that in practice. And I'm always looking for those. And I just saw his face. I was like, oh, here we
That's
go.
like
But
when you connected with that up kick and he just like bag of panties on you. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. And like you rolled over and just like started plowing on it, but it was so funny because he like you could see that as he's like just because he got to the point where he looked like he was going out, but he wasn't quite there. He was stunned. You know, you cracked him. But like the funny part is as he was sitting there wobbling, it was more like confusion. You know what I mean? He wasn't even hurt. He was just like, what happened?
oh, I was more confused than everybody. So like mentally, like I am a super big on visualization and a bunch of other stuff, right? So I visualize everything happening a million times. I have not visualized a dude stanky legging above me from elbows, TKOing from the bottom. So I was just kind of like, oh shit, oh shit. So I kind of
are
just
you
threw
trying to
like
say that is in fact not how you drew it up?
well, I didn't think I was gonna have him on stanky legs like Bambi standing above me while I'm on bottom trying to throw boxing combinations and get more kicks in because he wasn't it was a weird situation, you know, like I would visualize fucking people up with those and then falling over and dying, but I've never I haven't worked on like my follow-ups from the bottom of that situation. That was weird. I was just trying to find a shot, so I was kind of just freaking out for a split second, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try to get more up kicks in here.
He's just like, oh, I bet I could fit in some more up kicks.
Yeah. I was like, that was fun. And then after that, once I landed that kick, I kind of turned the tides a little bit. And then
I would say so. I mean, clearly he was dead.
Yeah, then I was laughing. So like, I come from Michigan. And I didn't have a fight. I couldn't find an opponent for a year previous to that.
Wait, is that what those cancellations were on Tapology?
Yeah, that was. I was gonna fight this light heavyweight/heavyweight, and he came in at like 192 pounds for a 185 title fight, and my brother told him to like go cut 2 pounds, and he started eating a fucking tortilla with like chicken in it, so the fight didn't happen.
No, is your brother Connor?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I saw him on there because I was doing a little bit of research on you, and I saw him on there, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's like his brother or something. And then I saw you were a coach, and I was like, I bet.
Dude, he's a super gangster. He's 2 years younger than me.
All right, so what about this? What about this? The Cuppy brothers versus the Diaz brothers. Book it.
Dude, yeah, that's what Pat was asking us in the pre-fight thing, and I was like, dude, like,
that's a fucking maniac, man. I love that guy, but he's fucking nuts.
You know what's funny is we've been like the Diaz brothers of our state for like the last like 6 years. Like everybody fucking hates us. But anyways, I had like 40 something opponents turn me down. Like I got a short notice call from Bellator to fight Austin Vanderford, and then I am like, fuck yeah, I'll fight him in 3 weeks. They didn't want to do the fight, and that just kept happening. 3 times with Bellator, just big fights over and over. So I'm like, what the heck? So when
like the opponents
would
just keep backing out, or what?
Yeah, because like, so like the wrestlers and the grapplers, everyone's trying to pad their record on the way up, you know?
Yeah. On the little leagues, you got to get that record padding.
Yeah, so the wrestlers are looking at it like, how are they going to lose? They're going to take people down, grind them out. The only way they're going to lose is if they get knocked out, which I can do, or if they get submitted, which is kind of my specialty, is being on my back. So like, it's a dangerous fight for them, and I'm 6'5".
Yeah, so you can really tangle them up. You can't even they can't even get the leverage to pass your guard and work any kind of half guard anything.
Yeah, so they're like, we'll fight these other bozos that have no idea what they're doing on bottom and just cut through them, choke them out, and get our payday.
It sucks for you that you're so tough that the strategic choice is to not fight you. You know what I mean? Like, because it is in their best interest to not fight you because you probably light them up like Christmas.
Yeah, so I was freaking out. So for like a year, I can't get a fight, and I can't get a big fight. So when I walked into LFA, I was like, all these motherfuckers going to know my name after this weekend. Like, we're about to fuck shit up.
Well, I mean, it did, man. I know you were doing, like, people buy stock. Like, I'm in, man. You're one of my guys. I will watch you till you ain't doing it anymore. I mean, it's just, like I said, it's the energy. And, like, you also have kind of like a wrestling heel persona to you, which I really enjoy.
You know what's crazy is I get that a lot. And, I never tried to be disliked, but like they always hated me. Like everywhere I go, like that's part of the reason I probably don't have fights either. None of our local promotions, we don't have any local promotions right now, but like they aren't trying to let me fight because they know I'm gonna kill their ticket sellers and they don't like me because I'm arrogant or something. But I'm like, dude, I fucking have been doing this shit since I was a little baby. I'm pretty good. I'm not gonna sit there and like pretend I'm not. Like I got.
Well, I mean, I look at the roster even at the UFC level, and like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I would say competitively, there's some good fights out there, but like anybody underneath like Leon Edwards, including Leon Edwards, I feel like you would just murk them. You know, like it's like you look at that roster and it's so crazy to think that like these people are dodging you, because I suppose it's hard to get that fight to propel you up to the next rung when everybody's fucking ducking you, because then you fight somebody that's not on your level and they're like, oh, he's padding his resume, and you're like, I'm trying to fucking fight people.
Right, exactly. And I needed that fight because that guy, I think JP was going for 4-0 in LFA. He's from Rufus Sport. He's a beast, you know. He's a good fighter, and I needed that, you know. I needed to go in there against a big name camp and a good spotlight fight. But if you notice too, and that guy I just fought, he's big and strong. But if you notice, he's 5'10". A lot of the guys at 170, like Woodley and a lot of these guys, they're 5'9", 5'10", 5'11". Did you notice the size between me and him? Like, when you look at it, like, I am fucking enormous. Like,
well, the other thing too is that not only are you enormous, but like you're the kind of tall that's really functional for like jiu-jitsu, because you got those long fucking legs, and the way that you set them up for the fucking elbows on your back. And it's interesting because we'll talk about the matches in UFC, but it really reminds me of Tony Ferguson, the way you throw elbows on your back.
I love it. Yeah, he's one of my favorite guys. I've studied him a ton. I've analyzed his elbows. What he never told anybody that I have found out that.
So you've watched
really
enough tape
hurts.
on him that you feel like you got some inside tips from Tony that pretty Tony's not giving to people?
Yeah, I've watched everything on him. I've watched almost everything on everybody. I don't come from like a big camp like all the gyms at the LFA fights. They were all the famous UFC guys everywhere. I had my brother and my dad. We've been since I was 9 years old. I used to be on a pro karate team as a 9-year-old with a private jet, and I'm used to flying to places and fucking up all the sponsored kids, the kids that are supposed to be the best.
So you just roll into the Karate Kid movies wearing a Cobra Kai jersey and just beat the fuck out of people.
Yeah, I've been doing that my whole life. But yeah, so like I study everything, and I coach as well. So like I study everything you possibly can. So the one thing I didn't know, I kind of knew my last fight because I carved another really good fighter up with elbows too. But those elbows, they hurt your elbows so bad. Have you ever hit your funny bone?
Yeah, I actually did Thai boxing for a little while. Not very much. I was never very good at it. But I did judo as a kid, and I did Thai boxing when I got like 18.
So have you felt when, like, you know how you get the funny bone gets hit, how terrible of a feeling that is?
Yeah, it's like pain, but it's like vibrating through you.
Yeah, that happened to me on the first elbow. I landed like 42 in a row, dude. Both arms were numb. And they still hurt right now. Like, if I post my elbow on the couch wrong, like, my funny bone, it still hurts from those elbows. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have went as ham as I did, but whatever, we'll be all right.
So I want to tell you a little bit about this show because, again, we're not doing the podcast, we're going to have you on the podcast again when we kick back up. Our recording studio just isn't letting anybody in because of all this virus bullshit. But so...
Dude, what a hoax, eh?
What?
What a hoax, eh?
Oh, it's fucking crazy. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what to believe anymore. I went from like this is nothing to this is everything to back to this is nothing again. I just like it. I don't care. I think it's just I'm at the point where it's like if I die, I die. I don't care. Like, let me go outside and fucking go on a jet ski because fuck the flu, I guess.
Yeah, I'm at that now. There was a second where I was like hiding in my mask.
Yeah, I think it's normal. I mean, like, I think that them acting a little preactively to shut everything down is fine, but at some point you just have to open it back up again or everybody goes down because the economy, we need that. But what I was saying with all this is that it's so crazy is that on this show, we actually are broadcasting live. We record and put it up, and we have a chat room, right? And the chat room on the Twitch is usually like what we do is we have them basically they kind of heckle and make fun of the guest. But I started this out with the Upkick and Superman, and this is the most quiet I've ever seen this chat room after Blydog just said, I am not making fun of this guy.
Damn.
So, like, they respect you.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm like one of my things, too, is, like, I don't believe in, like, being, like, I'm here to cleanse the UFC of the boring fighters.
Yeah.
Like, I've never, all my wins are by finish. and I don't even like play for points. Like I'm trying to, I like the like you talk about the Diaz brothers. I like that whole killer be killed
Oh yeah.
mentality.
And
Like that's why I do MMA.
I'll lead this into like, so you're a Ferguson guy. I'm a huge Gaethje guy. I've always been a big fan of like, give me the like old school berserkers, you know, like your Vanderlei Silvas, like even Robbie Lawler in his prime. I just love when somebody like understands that this is gonna hurt and they're just gonna walk through it, you know. And I like Gaethje. That's why I'm so excited about this fight. Like, not only do we have a fight which we haven't had in like, it was so funny because fucking 3 months ago, me and Chris were on our podcast bitching about how saturated the MMA has gotten as far as there's like 7 events a night and nobody can keep up with it. And then they take it away and now like one's coming and I'm like a giddy kid. Like I told you, it's fucking Blood Christmas tomorrow, man. I'm excited as fuck.
Hey, I'm a Justin guy too. I don't know how you can be. He's amazing.
Right. There's no way that you understand MMA and love it and aren't a fan of Justin Gaethje. And like his path, it's interesting because like your fighting style looks more like Tony, but your mindset seems more like Justin.
Yeah, we bet. You know, I don't know. I'm a weird artist. I like
Tovar just said, "Whatever, screw this guy." Chat room full of pussies, if you ask me.
There we go. Bring the heat. Yeah, no, Justin's the man. I think that's a harder matchup for Tony than Khabib, to be honest with you. I think he had the blueprint to stop Khabib. I think now dealing with Justin's going to be a little bit tougher just because Tony's there to be hit, and Justin's going to hit him, and he's going to hit him hard. So if he can weather those shots and get into round 3, I think Tony's going to take control and cut him with the elbows and do some work.
I agree with that 100%. I think that if Gaethje wins, it's round 1 or 2. If it goes to 3 or more, it's Ferguson's fight.
And I think the grappling is not even close. But the thing is with Tony Ferguson is he's just gonna go bang it out. He don't care.
Well, I don't think the thing that I've always loved about Justin is like that dude's a really good grappler, but it's like the Diaz brothers. Those guys are all black belts in jiu-jitsu. They don't give a fuck. They want to stand and bang.
Yeah, that's what pays the bills.
Right, and there's like 0% that this doesn't become like fucking fight of the century on this. Here, actually, let's I want to go down the list with you over this UFC thing and just like, cause like, have you had a chance to stare at the fucking list of fights? I mean, this is like a best of card I've ever seen. It's crazy.
It's pretty loaded. You know, when they not the first event in Brazil, but the next event they canceled, I was trying to get on that shit. Like when they pulled it off of England and they were trying to whip it together in a couple days, I was trying to get on that.
Oh, like, how does that work for pandemic? How does that work for like an LFA fighter getting up to like, because it's all owned by UFC, right?
Oh yeah, well they're like the top feeder to the UFC, so I know they put like 180 something guys through. I've never.
Well, the way that they're positioning their brand image and the way that they're putting it on Fight Pass, they're really positioning it to be like a minor league baseball team to the UFC, like their brand, but at the next level down.
Yeah, and like the way I look at it, like I just got a manager. I had no manager the whole way up.
Are you fucking kidding me? You had no manager?
No, I did everything myself. I did everything, like even my own, like most of my own like game plans, everything. Like I set my own workouts. I'm a weirdo. I'm just like Tony Ferguson in that regard. But anyways, now I got a bomb-ass manager, Jason House. And, like, I love LFA. Like, fighting for them was amazing. And, like, I would love to fight for them again. But the whole thing is, like, I just turned 31.
Yeah.
I'm in my peak right now. And, like, most people can tell if you just, like, watch me a little bit. Like, watching my last fight, like, I'm a motherfucker. Like, I'm going to make a run. Like, I'm trying to make money here and, like, get to the top guys.
Right.
So I don't need to spend another year in, like a lower promotion.
No, fuck that. And you've already done that. You've already worked your way up. I mean, like, because you have, like, what, like 11 fights under your belt as a pro at this point?
Yeah, I have 11 fights, but what a lot of people don't realize is Michigan was unregulated until, like, 2013, I believe.
Wait,
so
what?
We were unregulated, meaning like it was illegal to have MMA
so like
shows.
who had it first, Michigan or New York?
Michigan. But so anyways, here's the thing. Because they're unregulated, they just had no pros. So
Sure.
they had amateurs. So I was 19-7 as an amateur, just fighting fucking D1 wrestlers, guys that are at the top now, guys that fought in the UFC. Like we were fighting full rules, everything. So like as a kid, like a 21 to 26-year-old, I was on the amateur circuit. I had 27 fights
That's
before
fucking
I even
crazy.
turned pro.
When you were a
So
kid, did you
yeah,
have like a
so
favorite MMA guy, or were you just focused more on karate?
I didn't start training MMA until I was like 19.
That's so
I
fucking
started
crazy, man. I
I
suppose you already
started
had the natural
coaching.
striking of all the karate movements.
Yeah, well, my I was actually coaching people in stand up, guys that were wrestlers that were fighting,
Okay.
and then I was like, damn, these guys suck. They're like, dude, if you do, dude, they dead serious. This guy got me. He got me hooked. He goes, dude. He's like, if you just learn the sprawl, he's like, you're gonna take out everybody. And I'm like, you know what? I'm dropping out. I played college baseball. I'm dropping out of college. I'm gonna learn the sprawl, and I'm gonna head kick all these goofs because I'm watching these guys. Even like back then, I'm like, you know what? I'm watching these UFC guys. I'm like, I think I can head kick these fools. Anyways, they didn't tell me it took a fucking decade to learn the sprawl and the jiu-jitsu. I'm
Of
like,
course, yeah, they're
so
not gonna put that up front. Yeah.
yeah, now I'm in too deep. So I thought I was gonna like take a couple weeks, learn the sprawl thing, and get right in there. But
You're like, you motherfuckers, I already could throw a curveball. Fuck you.
yeah, 10 years later, here we are.
So who was your, like, when you first got into MMA, like, I mean, or just, I mean, I'm assuming you watched it in passing as a kid. Like, you
Oh
didn't have
yeah,
any favorites or anything? Like, who was your influences?
yeah, yeah. I had some guys. Carlos Condit is my number one.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He's
You know who my
that's
number one
my
is?
like.
My number one is Matt Brown. How funny is that?
Ooh, that's a good one. They were supposed to fight too.
I know.
Yeah, that was my main guy. I've always liked Dominic Cruz. Um,
Yeah, that's also really weird how the Dominic Cruz Cejudo fight seems to just be flying under the radar. Like, nobody's talking about that.
Dude, when they look back at this too, it's gonna end up being for like who's the best bantamweight of like all time.
Oh yeah, that's a go fight. You know what's really interesting too to me was like from the MMA community. I don't know how much you like watch like Reddit or anything like that with all the MMA stuff, but like it was interesting to me how the MMA community was just shitting all over Aldo Cejudo because they're like he's too old, he's not relevant. Just because he used to be champ doesn't mean he gets a title shot. And then like fucking Cruz comes in and like, yeah, this is fine. And I think it's because we like Cruz better. Like we all just like him better.
Yep. And what Cruz had going for him here in this matchup, like I think Henry's amazing. But what
Oh, I
Cruz
think
has
he's.
going
I mean,
for
he's
him,
next level. But I think Cruz is gonna beat him.
yeah, and what a Cruz has going for him, the main thing, aside of everything else, is he fights in a style that only he fights in. So
Right.
he's used to how everyone responds to his style, but he makes people play his game, and that's how I try to build my style to be like freakishly unique to where you get in
Yeah.
there and you're in some weird shit you haven't done, even though you've been doing this for 20 years.
Well,
So
that's yeah. I mean, that's where
that's
all
the
that stuff
Cruz.
comes from, you know. Because like with like my favorite of all time ever is Fedor. And you look at like Fedor, you look at somebody like Khabib, and the thing is just if you're trying to train against them, nobody knows that level of sambo. There's no way to prepare for it, and anybody that does is probably friends with them, so they're not going to help you.
Right.
You create this
Yeah.
weird
So,
style. You know, it's like you said, like Tony Ferguson isn't going to give you tips on how to throw fucking elbows, but you can dissect tape, you can find out how he does it, and then, you know, you can help your brother learn it, you know, and then it's you guys versus the world.
right. Yep. And like Dominic Cruz, he plays on like just completely different angles. He attacks at like side to side. He attacks on these like weird 45-degree angles, not straight at you, and he's way taller than Henry. So I think it's going to be really interesting because he's hard to hit, and if you can't hit someone, you can't beat him.
No. And that's exactly it. It's the movement thing. And I think that's where Ferguson Gaethje is going to be super interesting too, because as much as I like Justin, like, is he going to be able to hit Ferguson with like a really good hook or something that's not a glancing blow? Because Ferguson is all over the place.
Yeah, Ferguson's long too. He's got the same reach I do. He's really long. He's one of the longest 55ers I've ever seen.
So there's this one guy in this chat room named Tom Chilstrom, and he's a comic locally to Minneapolis, buddy of mine. And the chat room loves to just make fun of him all the time. And Otsu just said, how many bits to see this guy versus Tom? Because you would just beat his ass. And Tom comes back with, fuck you. I guarantee we aren't in the same weight class. I can't mess up this moneymaker too much. He doesn't make a lot of money, and he's very, very big.
That's funny.
So he gets out of an ass kicking through you because not in the same weight class.
Hey man, my governor won't let me leave my house. I can't kick anyone's ass.
Yeah, what's the lockdown like in Michigan? I know in Minnesota it sucks ass.
They have it until I think until June, but she just keeps extending it. I guess she's like the front runner to be like Joe Biden's vice president. So she's like really like trying to tank the economy. As far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's kind of what this is to me. Is it's just this weird political coup. If you're a Republican, you want to go outside. If you're a Democrat, you want to stay inside because the Dems are going to just sandbag the economy, and then the Republicans will be like, "That's fine. We'll just create a war overseas. It doesn't matter. What up?"
Yeah, and I think it's like the left is just so desperate at this point to try to do anything they can to get back in power because
well, they don't even understand why they lost the last election. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, so they're pulling this shit, and it's stopping the Trump rallies. It's stopping the debates. They're trying to get mail-in voting. They're trying to do all this political shit, and the real reason is from like my studies and my understandings is when Trump was saying on his campaign trail that he wants to drain the swamp, there's some motherfuckers that have done some corrupt shit in our government that are going to be going down here, and they got to get rid of him. So like by all means necessary. But it sucks. Like me and my brother own an academy together, and we've been closed for 3 months. Like he actually teaches our kids on the internet, but still it ain't the same.
Like a MMA academy.
Yeah, we do MMA, jiu-jitsu, karate. We have a lot of national champions, world champion karate players in our.
How much karate do you still do at this point?
Not as much as I should. But, I'm not as flexible as I should be, but okay. I've actually recently been getting it sharp and ready to go here for when I get a short notice call. But
who's your favorite karate fighter?
Raymond Daniels, the GOAT.
Who is it? I don't even know who that is. I don't know much about karate.
You don't know Raymond Daniels? No. Oh my! When you are done with this show, you go on YouTube. You type in Raymond Daniels. He actually fights MMA now in Bellator and fought for Bellator Kickboxing, Glory Kickboxing. Yeah, but that's who I was watching when I was little. He's incredible.
Oh yeah, okay. I know this guy. Yeah, I've seen this guy before. Yeah, I didn't know his name, but I've seen him on the last Bellator where he like did that fucking weird ass spin kick thing.
Yeah, he beat Michael Page in karate. He beat Wonder Boy on like a weird technicality.
Speaking of padding your numbers, what up, MVP?
Right, that guy's never fought anyone here in like 10 years.
That guy's like, I feel like Angie will take a dive is included on every contract his opponents sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's next? Like as an LFA guy, right? Like, do you have more fights contracted with them, or are you able to go wherever you want?
No, I did a 1-fight contract, so that's what I was saying. Like, I love their promotion. Like, I think my brother needs to do his next fight in there, and they'll get a good taste of the Cuppy magic. But no, I'm looking for like a short notice UFC fight. There's been a lot of articles.
How often does that come by for somebody sitting in the back like that? Like, does that just like an undercard or early prelim situation, or like how does that go down? Just like because a lot of people here are saying in the crowd like they don't understand MMA stuff. So I like the behind the business stuff, you know?
Yeah, well, like so normally they have fights going on every weekend, pretty much, right? So say every card has 270-pound fights, sometimes some 85 fights that I could fight at, right? When somebody rolls an ankle or tears a knee or gets a staph infection, they have to pull out of a fight on short notice. That's usually when a guy like me comes in on like 8 days notice because nobody else wants. If you're already an established guy and you've made some money, you don't want to go fight on 8 days notice. Go make weight.
It sucks too because it's almost like stacked against you then because you're clearly not getting a training camp.
Yeah, but I train every day. Like I've trained every day of this quarantine. Like I just trained for like 3 hours today. So like I'm fully ready to go. But yeah, so that's how I think it's gonna happen. They have the Dana White Contender Series, but then there's other people that have said that I don't need to be on that because there's a lot of like younger prospects that are like 24, 25 that are gonna get built, and they think I'm too experienced that I'm gonna fucking smash like someone else that could be something.
So is that a common problem with fighters where like you get to a certain age or a certain proficiency where you clearly have the skills and then they're like, well, we don't want to fucking smash our prospects, so fuck you.
Oh no, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think I'm a better prospect than like all those young kids, to be honest. I think it's just more the fact that like, um, I don't know. I don't think I need to go on it. I like you were talking. You think I'd dismantle Leon Edwards? I think that too. That guy's like the number one contender in the world right
I think
now.
there's a lot of people in the welterweight that you would go just toe to toe with and have a banger. But I mean, I look at their pound for pound and almost everybody from Edwards down. I just feel like you would mow through.
Right, and Wonder Boy, like I like that matchup.
Oh, I think, dude, knowing your background in karate, I think that's the first UFC fight I want to see. I want to see a Wonder Boy Cuppy fight where you beat his ass so much he has to go to LFA for his next fight.
Dude, I'll one up it when I fight him because I plan on like I'm gonna be doing my fights and then they're gonna like everyone has their fights and then they have that fight that breaks them into the top 10, breaks them into the top 5. So say I fight Wonder Boy, he's actually a nice guy, whatever, like I'm not.
He seems like a nice guy. Like whatever, who cares?
Yeah, I'm from the D. We ain't nice. Right?
I'm from the D.
I'm a clean cut white boy.
I hear it's cold in the D.
It's very cold. But yeah, like I'll actually. He has a huge martial arts school, and I actually like I want to put my kids' team against his kids.
Oh
on the fight week, like a couple days before, have like a 10-on-10 team fight. Like I'll bring a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old and 8-year-old all the way up, boy, girl.
Dude, that would make all the money. Like you're just explaining to me, and all I can think is take my fucking money.
Right, and we'll coach against each other, and then we'll fight 2 days later, and I'll shut them down, and that'll be that. But yeah, no, I'd like my kids because my kids' team, like I was saying, like we have some assassins. Like we have like little assassins. Like we just went to World Championships in November, and we had 7 people compete, and we won three gold medals, 3 world titles, and all the other people got bronze. And they're going against some real like we'll go against.
I want that to be like a full on like embedded bracket tournament leading up to the fight though. I want each fight to be a different day. I want a lot of like really close ups of Stephen Thompson's kids crying.
you want a betting line on my my little.
And I'm telling you this, man. Like I will. I swear to God, like I got your number now. I'm gonna fucking send you screenshots every time I see you fight, and I'm putting money on you. So just no pressure, but just know I need to win those. All right.
Oh, there we go. And then
I know motivation is not an issue for MMA guys, but just remember, there's a fat alcoholic comedian whose fate is riding on you, Corey.
Hey, if I was a betting man, which I am, I do have a gambling problem. I would tell you, fucking pound that Corey Cuppy button and take the under, because I'm finishing motherfuckers. I ain't doing the over. Like, straight up. I don't know, like, if the over-under makers are ever going to hear that, but, like, I don't do the over. I do under. I ain't trying to be in there for longer than I have to be in there. Fucking sucks in there. Those guys are pissing me off, trying to lay on me and elbow me and shit. Like,
it's like nobody actually wants to fight anymore.
Yeah, no, I get it though. But...
No, I do too, and that's actually like one of the things that I really am starting to enjoy about LFA. And I didn't really know a lot about it till Chris kind of crammed it down my throat. But as somebody, I mean, I'm 39 and I've been watching MMA like my whole life, and I just like the feeling of LFA and the way they're doing it. It feels like what Pride used to be, and I love that shit.
Yeah, it was fun. Like the only bad thing for them is Like,
Are you
they're
taking a
guys.
piss during this interview? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I had to. So
That's all
the
right.
only
No,
bad,
that's all right.
no, sorry, the only bad thing, I'm super hydrated. The only bad thing about the LFA is
Excuse
they
me,
go to the other
bitch.
promotions fast. So like they'll have so much talent, but like they'll fight one or two fights, and then they're in the UFC, they're in Bellator. So,
Do you think the
but yeah,
future? Do you think the future of their promotion might look more like 2 or 3 fight contracts? Because having a 1 fight contract seems really weird for a promotion that's on that level.
there's guys that they got that fight there all the way up. There's guys that fight 3 or 4 fight contracts. Um, Me, I wasn't. I think they were bringing me in to get beat up. To be honest with you, um, and then I showed up, and then everyone was like, "Who is this motherfucker?" Everybody felt my energy. They were like, "This dude looks like some sort of champion," and I was like, "I'm here, motherfuckers. Y'all fucked up."
When you
Like,
watch when you
yeah,
watch some of
everyone
the
said,
other promotions like LFA or like One or even like PFL, like it's interesting because a large portion of the roster when they're out there, they do seem like tough people that beat the fuck out of me, but they don't seem like they have the star power thing that would drive them forward in the MMA thing. And one of the things I loved about you was like, one, the show was awesome. I mean, the fight was rad. I saw a fucking up kick, almost knockout, and then a Superman down punch where I was like, what? But then when like interacting with you and just like you have all the intangible factors on top of being good enough to kick ass. And it's weird how often that's not the case at that level.
yeah, that's a big thing. Like, I don't like. There was like when it came to that, when it came to like the overall show and the overall energy, like at the weigh-ins, it was me, and then it was a bunch of just like really tired like people. Like everyone was doing their face-offs. They were like 6 feet away. Like we were on Corona lockdown. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Where I come from, like, we're here for fucking war. This is the weigh-ins. Like, I'm ready to street fight Rufus Sports' whole gym right now. Like, that's my mentality. So, like,
Take
I
them
brought that
out.
energy in. We were starting. I was starting some shit at the weigh-ins. It got a little heated and hostile.
Wait, okay, so
And,
what did you? I didn't see any of that. What did you start at the weigh-ins? Like, explain that to me. What'd you do? What did you do, Corey? What'd you do?
Well, one, I was just fucking huge, and I I did my pose, and when I was done doing my pose, he tried to like do the thing where like he outstares you. So like as we turned and faced the front, he tried to outstare me, and I wasn't having that shit. So I
What do you mean?
fucking
Okay, again, for people that don't know MMA, what does outstaring you mean?
so like you know how you have the stare down at the weigh-ins, right? One person's got to look away first. One person's got to walk away first. Someone's got to make that move where they like high five the guy or turn and look away. And as I was about to look away, I saw in my peripheral he was trying to fucking flex and outstare me and not look away. And I'm like, we ain't having that. So we kept doing the fucking stare down. And I was hovering above him because he was tiny compared to me. And I was like, you're fucked tomorrow. Said something. He looked away and started smiling. I'm like, I got him. As I walked off the stage, we accidentally bumped into each other. So like I shoulder checked him, and then everyone's like, "Ooh!" And then that was it. He ran over by his team, and I was like, "Your team can't save you. Fuck you. See you tomorrow." Whatever I said, and then we left. But everyone was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And I had him right where I wanted him. I'm like, "Watch my next trick tomorrow."
So I know everybody's different. Do you prefer to be mad at your opponent when you fight, or are you one of those guys that's mad at all your opponents?
Dude, anytime I've lost, it's because like I liked my opponent, like, and I was like hurt and had MRSA, but like I like hating my opponents. Like I want beef. Like I like the street fights. Like I like having like
you just get
physical,
up a little more when you fucking hate a guy.
Yeah, I would say there's probably been like back in those unregulated days where we had no commissions or nothing. I would say me and my brother like got in big street fights, probably at least 15 times with like other full-on fight teams.
Jesus.
We had like $12,000 worth of damage in a hotel in Lansing, Michigan. My brother won his pro debut, and a guy from that other team, because it's pretty hood up here. And,
Oh, I know. I
guy from
do.
the other
So as a
team-
comic, I work through the Midwest. I remember I almost got in a fight in the Upper Peninsula outside of Sault Ste. Marie because people are just dicks.
Yeah, they're mean. So, yeah, I just got randomly sucker punched one time,
Oh,
and
dicks.
we ended up having like a whole like fight team versus fight team brawl. Like it was, so that would happen a lot. And then, the dude that punched me was a 155er. So the next day, I found out who he was, and I set up my brother versus him, and my brother beat him 221 strikes to 1. He killed him for hitting me with the sucker punch.
What
But,
weight
like,
class? What weight class is your brother in?
155, but we might move him to 170. Like he's big.
Yeah.
Like he's pretty big. But yeah, so we could go through the same weight class. That'd be pretty fun. But
Are you the older
yeah,
brother?
man. No, he's younger. He's 2 years younger.
So it's literally the Diaz brothers. You're like a couple weight classes above and a couple years older.
Yeah. He's really good. He has the same karate background. He's only 6 foot, so I'm like 5 inches taller than him.
Plus
But
he
he's
grew up.
way
Plus he grew
faster.
up beating on you and like getting beat on by you. Like the younger brother's always tougher because he grew up
It's
with the older
always-
brother beating his ass.
Exactly. Same thing with my little kids in karate. Like it's the younger brother's always tougher. He's a brown belt in 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu too. Like he's freaking amazing. So yeah, he's gonna be like really like pretty much. I'm gonna storm into the UFC. And they're gonna be like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Oh my gosh! This is the new guy." Or they're gonna, all the guys in the roster be like, "I hate you. You suck." And you can't wrestle him. Like, all right, cool. I'll sit down to start the fight, and then still beat you. And then once I get my brother in there, then all shit's off. Like everyone's fucked. Like
You
I
could
don't
probably
know
get him
what
on
it is.
Contender. I mean, that's what Nate did. Nick got Nate on Contender or the top. You could probably get him on
Ultimate
Contender.
Fighter. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, so like. But yeah,
and anything
like,
he
I
does
don't-
is just gonna raise the fucking profile for both of you, you know? Because that's the other thing too is people love when it's fucking brothers. I mean, like I honestly believe, and I'm not saying they're not good, they are, but like if they weren't brothers, nobody would give a fuck about the Pitbulls. I really believe that.
Oh yeah, especially because they can't talk. You know,
Right, they can't talk.
like-
They fight kind of boring. I mean, they're good at it, but they fight kind of boring. They can't talk. The real story is that it's the Pitbull brothers. How cool is that?
Yeah, and that's our goal. Like that's our goal is to be like the best set of brothers, the best pair of brothers. But
Well, I mean,
yeah,
you just have to climb the Diaz wall because everybody else, I think you guys are already above.
he just had a 5-round title. He's coming off a loss too, so he's really pissed right now, trying to beat my ass every day. But his loss was a fake loss. Like it was a 5-round title fight, and he clearly won 3-2, maybe 4-1. It was in the other dude's hometown.
Oh, that
Nobody was
hometown
cheering.
cooking. That hometown cooking.
The home cooking. Nobody was cheering. Everyone was like heads down, like leaving the arena, like damn, we got mowed, and then they give him the decision. And that really fucks you when you're on the way up, you know?
Well, especially because like
fight.
every lot. I mean, it's already even in the UFC. Like you get 3 losses, that might be a career. But on the way up, like 1 loss could be a career if you get fucked right.
Yeah, and like people don't know, dude. No one's going and watching that fucking 40-minute fight. So people are just like, people look online, they're like, oh, he lost a split decision to a 9-2 guy. No, he fucking beat the 9-2 guy. Really, is what should be on his resume. But
Well, it's
yeah,
like the last
so
two. It's like the last 2 Jones fights. I really like. I'm not a big guy of saying things are robberies, but like I'm just like, you guys weren't even watching the same fight. Like, what's happening?
right, yeah, they were actually Dom Reyes' coach is Jeremy, or what's his face, Joe Daddy Stevenson. He was in our locker room, and his school's the Cobra Kai Academy, right? And he just sees me spin kicking and going nuts on the pads. And like, dude, forgot a mouthpiece. I didn't have a mouthpiece till like 10 minutes before the fight. Like, I don't know why. It was a real amateur move. So
Tom, one of our guys in the chat room just said, did Herb Dean arrest? So one of the running jokes that I always have is whenever I see Herb Dean, I lean over to whoever I'm watching with, like, oh, Herb Dean, the fix is in.
Right. Hey, repping's a hard job.
Oh, it
yeah,
is.
but like, yeah, Joe Daddy, he ended up being a real cool guy. I love him, but he was like, looks at me dead serious. He's like, you know, you could hit him with the crescent kick. The crescent kick's open. The crescent, no one's ready for the crescent kick.
Well, that's
And,
because
dude, it was
nobody.
a
That's
total-
because like hardly anybody can actually throw it right.
Dude, yeah, dude, it was a total line from Cobra Kai. He was just fucking with me because I was like, I knew because I'm like, dude, I'm a karate master, and like nobody throws the fucking crescent kick besides Chuck Norris.
Make his knuckles bleed.
Right.
Fucking dope. So like, okay, so what's next? Like, so now you just hang out and you wait to try and get like a short notice UFC fight, or do you what like? Are there other fights that you are eyeing up? And also, this is the other one I wanted to talk to you about. Is like, obviously Kamaru because he's the champ. But is there anybody else that you just like see in the UFC and you're like, I would love to beat that dude's ass?
Oh yeah, there's so many. Let me get to that in a second. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm waiting for I'm waiting for like a short notice fight. I think it's gonna come sooner than later too because they're gonna be filling a lot of cards here shortly, and
Oh, it's gotta be.
yeah.
I would think it would be a mad dash on fucking talent. Like your next fight, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the most money you've made in your career because they're gonna be fucking like just fire sailing events. Because when they open, it's gonna be fucking open.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna talk bad on any of the other promotions, but yeah, UFC's where I'm headed, and I think things got a little backed up because they haven't had fights in 2-3 months, so it's kind of back the openings up for a couple months, but yeah, we're just going in there gunslinging, ready to mow, and yeah, there's a lot of guys, dude, like Mickey Gall. I can't stand it.
Oh, I
I've been
hate that
watching
fucking guy. Would you please break that dude's jaw for me?
Dude, and his sister can get it too. So like, I'll get two. I'll have a double job that night. But
That's why they call you the
yeah,
womanizer.
dude. Yeah, like I'm watching that guy on my TV, and like when he's like 2-0, like that bothers me. Mike Perry, he claims he's from Michigan all the time, bro. He didn't come up on the Michigan circuit, or he would have got fucked up already by a bunch of people. So that dude moved out of Michigan a long time ago. I don't like that he's claiming Michigan.
Why is he claiming Michigan? That like no offense to you. Like, okay, so I'm from Minnesota, right? Like, Michigan just doesn't seem like the place you would claim if you were trying to get clout. And Minnesota doesn't either. But like, if you're really gonna lie about it, say you're from like Vegas or someplace cool. You know what I mean?
Well, Flint, where he's from, is like ranked *1 most dangerous city in the world. And then I think,
so he's just straight posing. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, so he's like, yo, I'm from Flint, dog. Like, I got a face tattoo, blah blah blah.
He does look like he was raised on really shitty tap water, though. I will say that.
Oh, bro, for sure. Yeah, he's not too smart.
No, he is not.
He's got a boy on his team, and then yeah, Leon, the Wonder Boy fight, I just wanted a competitor. That dude's a nice guy. Colby Covington and me fucking had a face-off before anyone even knew who Colby was. He only had like 2 UFC fights, and I'm running in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And it's like 112 degrees. Who's the only other motherfucker in Las Vegas that's running on like 4th of July weekend? Colby Covington, and he's staring at me, looking me up and down, and I'm just like, you little fuck, what are you looking at, right? He knew I was coming, and he's like, who's this guy? So, anyways, later on, like at 4 a.m. at the MGM, I'm stumbling through the fucking MGM on like my 90-second vodka and Red Bull, and there's Colby, and you're like, you know how in high school, the kid that doesn't like you walks directly at you, and it's like a power struggle, who's gonna move?
Yeah.
That happened, and I fucking, my tall shoulder hit him like right up under his fucking throat. Like it was just like a little shoulder bump at 4 a.m. But I was like walking down the thing. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna fight this guy one day. I'm about to let him know I'm fucking coming right now. So that fight's gonna be amazing.
I look forward to that. That one, like, I think, like, that's the other thing that I think is going to be so cool when you get up to that level, man, is, like, you just have the skills for that trash talking. I mean, a lot of these people sound like they've been hit in the head a lot. You don't, you know?
Right, yeah, well, luckily my head's really tall up, and then...
It's hard to hit. It's way up there.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the cool thing about karate. Like, people hate on karate a lot, and, like, don't get me wrong, there's some bullshit karate out there. Like, in our area, we have our school, but we have a lot of, like, parks and rec schools around us, like, a mile away.
I just think the
But
movement, because of the way that everybody's training Thai boxing now, the movement is so foreign to people. You look at that. I mean, that's a lot of what Conor McGregor is very good, obviously, but
yeah,
like the karate movement puts him in positions that people aren't ready for. Wonder Boy does the same thing. Look at almost all of his
yes,
fucking
sir.
kick highlights. It's really just a subtle sidestep that nobody sees coming because the movement is so natural and different than what they're expecting.
Exactly. It's much smoother. And like the cool thing about it, like you compete at a high level, like the whole game, like they have actual kickboxing too, which I was really good at. But the game of point karate is hit and don't get hit. Like if you get hit, like you're going home. Like you're gonna lose. So you get really good at not getting hit. Like really good defensively. Like my brother is fucking amazing defensively. He can put his hands down, like talking about Dominic Cruz, he can fucking Anderson Silva people with head movement and just make them look so stupid.
Well, we should have fucking
But
hit him up and have him on one of these shows too.
yeah, definitely. Next time we'll come on together, and then we'll probably actually, if you video it, we'll probably like street fight during it too. We get pissed at each other a lot. We're really competitive.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll play some Street Fighter, man. Let's do it.
Dude, you play UFC on Xbox?
Oh, I'm on PS4, but I do play I do play a lot of UFC. That UFC by that Fight Night staff is maybe the best game ever. That 3, fuck is that game?
I'm like 130 or 140 in the world right now. Ever since quarantine, I've really been locking in on that game.
Really let me focus on my UFC, man.
Oh, bro, I'm lighting people on fire since the quarantine. All those dudes that were beating me before, like I'm letting them have it. Like I'm feeling good out there.
That's so awesome. Yeah, have you. So here's the real question, though. When you play those games, you obviously create yourself and play, right?
No, I just play like ranked games online and go against like. There's a lot of fighters on there too, but I go against like all those like all the little fucking geniuses that are like the best. Like a lot of these guys are pro gamers.
Who's your favorite fighter in UFC 3?
Max Holloway.
Oh fuck yeah, I love.
He's got like.
He's so fun because he's so long and he's quick.
Unlimited cardio.
Yeah.
Really good cardio, really good hands.
That's a hard weight class too. Like everybody's all over that place. Yeah, I love that game, man. That's super fucking fun. Do you find that like as you're like looking at this, like, because you're saying you're still training and stuff, but how is it? I suppose because you're so used to short notice fights, it doesn't really matter. You're just training like you always do, right?
Yeah, like the last like year and a half, I was looking for short notice fights. So I was on a year layoff before this fight. My fight before that, I fought Kenny Cross. Talk about another guy you would want to buy some stock into. Okay. I think he's like 11-3. This dude knocks everybody out. He fucking looks good. He's so jacked and like, dude, he did this stripper dance on this guy he just beat. Like, bro, I think he's gonna be in the UFC or Contender Series. Probably,
it's like when Romero was like kissing up on Luke, just like.
Yeah.
Dancing on him.
Yeah, but even that fight, like they offered me that out of nowhere. I'm like, fucking thank you, dude. About time. So yeah, I'm not like revving. So like what I like training, but I don't like crazy cardio and stuff like that. Obviously, I don't think anyone likes like running.
Yeah, who the
10
fuck
miles.
likes cardio? Like I don't mind lifting weights, but cardio's garbage.
Right. So like today I did 40 straight minutes of jiu-jitsu rolling. Yesterday I sparred for like an hour and then drilled for like an hour on my
Now,
sparring.
is that just you and your brother basically then because of the quarantine, or how does that work?
Yeah, we got us two, and then we got an amateur kid. I think he'll probably be in the UFC in like 3-4 years, maybe faster. But he's a college All-American wrestler, Golden Gloves boxing champion, and he has like the unlimited fucking cardio tank, like Colby Covington style.
Sure.
So he's amazing. And then we have 2 bantamweights that have been training. So one's undefeated right now, Billy Duvall, and the other one, Keith Schreiner. He just turned 18, so he's about to make his debut. We got a lot of like kids that start like younger. I think that's the new generation that's going to succeed. I don't think you can just like start
Yeah, well, I mean,
training.
at this point, it's like I was talking about this with Chris like last month about how, we're getting to the point now where everybody like these technicians are gone. You have to be a jack of all trades. Like 20 years ago in MMA, if you were the best jiu-jitsu practitioner, you could probably rise up to the championship. That's just not the case anymore.
Yeah, you got to know everything.
It's
Well,
like you
even
have to
like
have at least a striking, at least a jiu-jitsu, and then probably like a dirty box, like Thai box. Everybody does Thai boxing because you can have the fucking dirty boxing in there, but
yeah, so like even like our kids karate program, if you take karate through us, like you're required to do different grappling classes to get to your next rank. So like by the time our kids get to black belt, they're going to be like fully functioning like purple belts, blue belts on the mat.
that's
So
crazy
we
to think about. Just
so
this legion of little punk asses.
it blows my mind. I'll watch these like 8, 9 year old kids, and they're just playing. They're playing.
Yeah.
They're having the time of their life. They're not taking it seriously, and they're doing jujitsu, and they've been doing it since they're 4 or 5. Some of these kids, you're doing it 3, 4 years, and they're incredible. They're just like doing all this like high level stuff. It looks like little UFC fighters. I'm
Well, I
like,
think that's because they're having
that's the
fun with
new
it. I mean,
era.
a lot of the times people get to the point, like I see this in gyms where my friends roll and stuff. It's like you get those couple of guys that never are gonna like follow it more than what they're training, but they have to take it super serious right there. Like all of a sudden, like I mean, that's what I worry about like getting into like any kind of jujitsu is like I feel like I would just be practicing one day, some guy would take it too hard, and then I'd be waiting for him in the parking lot.
No, no. Most people in jiu-jitsu are really cool. Jiu-jitsu is probably like the coolest community. Most people are stoned, and everyone's super chill. And the cool thing
Wait, they
about
smoke
jiu-jitsu,
weed? I'm out. Just kidding.
the cool, I was gonna say the cool thing about jiu-jitsu is like you choke somebody, they tap out. There's no real damage there. Where like if you're doing Muay Thai or kickboxing and you hit somebody with your good head kick, like they're fucked up. That's serious brain damage, you
I
know.
remember like one of the first things like so we used to when I took Thai boxing, we were as Muay Thai, we went around and we were doing these fucking sit-ups where they were hitting us with kendos, and then we were going to do some light sparring. And the coach told us, "All right, no elbows." And this motherfucker across me, first thing he did was throw an elbow. And I was so fucking pissed.
Bro. Yeah, that's what
And
happens.
then everybody
And
came at me like I was the asshole because I'm flipping out. I'm like, no, you said no fucking elbows. That shit hurts.
yeah, and then that's how it's striking too. It really escalates. So like you're
That's why I
sparring
never,
with
as a
me.
kid, I never fucking slap box because I'm Italian and I got that fucking anger in me. Somebody slaps me, I get mad, and now we're not slap boxing anymore.
You know what's funny is when I slap my brother during sparring, like he fucking tries to kill me. Like it turns into a street fight every time. But anyway, yeah, though it really escalates in striking because like say I'm more experienced than you and I'm working with you and you decide like I'm gonna impress this guy by taking his head off with a right hook or a right elbow like you were just saying your boy did. Now I just got elbowed in the head and I'm like, dude, I gotta fuck this guy up so I don't
Right.
get hurt.
Yeah.
So I one up you, I crack you with a good one and then you're like, I gotta crack him with a good one and it just keeps escalating.
And
That's the cool
before
thing.
you know it, you're knife fighting.
Yeah, before you know it, it's a full on brawl.
What's the best like fight story you have of like as a kid, like not in the ring? Like just you ever get into like a bar clears or anything?
Yeah, I got into a couple that one fight team versus fight team one was pretty good. I was on one. This is ridiculous if you really think about it. Looking back, I was 22 years old and I was chaperoning four of my 18-year-old fighter friends that were on my team. I was chaperoning their spring break, and
You don't look, Corey. You seem like a nice guy. I don't know that I would trust you to be a chaperone.
no, I was a terrible
Yeah,
chaperone.
you seem like you would be a terrible chaperone.
I was terrible chaperone. I was only there for like the 21-year-old girls. All right, so there we go. So yeah, we ended up getting into a bar fight with these boys from Kentucky,
Oh
these big
shit!
old Southern boys, and I don't even know what happened. Like I just looked over and my boys were fighting. And I'm like, oh shit, and that one was pretty cool. I landed like a spin back kick that was pretty sweet, and I had a wrestler
Like
on
at
my,
a street fight, you landed a spin back kick. That is amazing.
yeah, and a wrestler on my team. he picked up a high crotch and threw a dude over the ledge where like the level of the bar was in Panama City. It was like a 7-foot drop, and that was fucking really sweet. I got in one big fight in high school, and I actually didn't want to fight, but I ended up sidekicking the dude in the body and put him down. That one was funny. Yeah,
That's fucking great.
Probably the most epic one. It was after a fight. I actually lost a fight as an amateur to this D1 wrestler. I think he's like 13-2 now. He trains at the Black Zillions or Henry Hoof's gym.
Sure.
And yeah, so
fuck
I've
Milwaukee,
been
but
grappling.
that's fine.
Yeah, I've been grappling like 6 months. Like I'm just starting, and he wrestle smashes me. So I go out, and I'm drinking Four Locos like the next night. I'm like 21 years old, and I'm pissed about what happened because like it really when there's a skill gap, it doesn't matter how hard you try, you're usually not going to win. So like that dude started wrestling when he was 4. I started 5 months ago. There's no way I was ever going to stop that, right? So I'm pissed because I'm an ultra competitor. So I'm just drinking my Four Locos.
It's gotta be something like really humiliating and like down it like that. Like I mean, I'm not saying you're a depressive guy, but there has to be a moment of like depression in that because it's like, God damn it, the gap is so far away right now.
It's terrible. They say back in like the Roman days or like the gladiator days that like when guys would lose in battle, like no women in the village would have sex with them, and that's what it feels like. Like you don't want to have sex, you just feel like nothing. You're like, I got to get back in there. Like it's rough. So anyways, so me and my girlfriend have a breakup like the next day because I'm pissed at her.
And she's not gonna fuck a loser.
Like, no, I was pissed at her. I had to be pissed at someone. Yeah. So I'm at the bar and I'm creeping, like I'm hardcore, like every girl I see, what up? And she comes in. I'm like, what are you doing here? And she sees me talking to all these girls. So she starts going and talking to all these dudes, right?
Oh, shit.
Well, my boy goes to break it up, like, yo, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, dude, it's cool, whatever, dude. I'm just going to talk to these girls. Like, these girls are new looking, right? Yeah. So, anyways, the bouncer comes over, and I'm like, dude, it's fine. Don't worry about it. The bouncer comes over, hears a little commotion. He's like, what's going on over here? I'm like, nothing, dude. I'm just, like, breaking that up. It's fine. He's like, no, what's going on? He's like, you think you're a tough guy? I'm like,
yeah.
Dude, I'm like,
I mean,
no,
not if you've been wrestling for 10 years, but otherwise, yes.
No, I'm trying to de-escalate. I'm like, dude, listen, I'm just doing your fucking job, breaking up that altercation. There's no problem. And he goes, I don't like your attitude. And this guy's 320 pounds.
There's got to be part of you that you know you're gonna fucking murder this dude, and you're just like, dude, just walk away.
Yeah, it's rough. That's why I don't go out anymore. So I'm like, he's like, I don't like your attitude. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you like. And I turn to walk away, and he grabs my arm. And I hit him so fucking hard. And he stepped back. I landed a couple more shots. There may or may not have been a bottle fucking go over his head. And
Allegedly.
Right. Next thing you know, he runs at me. He comes with like the running Goldberg WWE spear, like 100 miles an hour. I'm like, whatever, dude. I go to back up and kind of post on his head, and I fall over these bushes that are like the end of the patio on this bar. So now I got this big fuck on top of me. And what am I going to do, Corey? I'm going to slap on the fucking triangle, right?
Yeah.
So I slap the fuck.
Or an up kick.
I slapped and I'm not that good at this point, though. Like, get back to the story of me losing the week before. I suck. So I slapped the triangle on. I'm like, got his ass. He fucking picks me up and slams me on the concrete.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, hell no. I make an adjustment. I tighten that thing back up a little tighter. He does it again. I'm like, fuck. So I start fucking unloading fists and fucking elbows. He slams me 7.
And this is just at the outside of the bar?
He's outside on a patio bar. He slams me 7 times hard, right? On the 8th time, as he lifted me up, I stood back up to my feet. I hit him with a 1-2. I jumped over those bushes off the bar, and all the bouncers were out now. Like, fuck you, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, dude, it's straight. My shirt's ripped. I start walking away. I'm just going to go home. Like, I don't know who's going to drive me, but I'm going to go home. And as soon as I walk away, some dude, some European dude goes, haha, you got fucked up, pussy. Like, and I had it, dude. So I walked up to him, started beating his ass. Next thing you know, the bouncers were jumping me. All 6 of them. They started beating the shit out of me. So I took a beating from them, survived that, got some licks in, got back to my feet, was laughing like, dude, whatever, no big deal. Anyways, world comes full circle. Six or 8 months later, I'm teaching an MMA class on a Saturday afternoon, and there's the bouncer that I fucking cracked.
Oh, no.
I sparred him and didn't even remember or know who he was.
He knew who you were, though, I bet.
Yeah, I was the teacher, and then he's like, I know you from somewhere. I'm like, I don't think you know me. He's like, you ever go to any bars? I'm like, no, I don't go to any bars. And then he's like, you're the motherfucker that cracked me. And I'm like, what's up, man? I'm like, I wish I knew that before we sparred.
You're like, you're the motherfucker that made sure I don't go to bars anymore.
Dude, I couldn't walk for like 3 weeks because my back was sore from the slams of the concrete. Yeah, but he ended up being cool as hell, and I was just like schooling him when we were sparring. Anyways, he's a heavyweight. He was like an 11-2 amateur. That's why he was defending the fucking triangle. It all makes sense.
And he's slamming you on the ground and shit?
Yeah, like 7 times on the concrete. Hard as shit. I couldn't sleep good. My back and neck were so messed up from those slams on the concrete because you don't realize, like, the cage is soft.
Tom Chilstrom writes, that bouncer was clearly a moron. I always knew who was in my bar. Fighters, punks, MCs, other folks, and bouncers. Dude is clearly a piece of OS. Some Eurotrash talk shit. What a shock. Tom is our local guy, and he's also a bouncer, or was for a while.
Dude, I was way more pissed at the random European who's like, you got fucked up, motherfucker. Like, as I was walking away, that I was the bouncer. Like, but the bouncer ended up being cool as shit. I trained with him a couple times, and he's always like, dude, you're crazy.
Are you guys still cool now?
Yeah, you know, I don't really keep up with him, but anytime I go, like, I went to places where there's like 100 people outside the club line, and he takes us right in, VIP, walks through the door, so like we're all gravy now.
I think I want to talk about this too. You touched on this, and I think this is an interesting point for people that don't really understand MMA. I bet there's a lot of MMA fighters who have an incident like this, and then that's the last time they go to bars. Because, I mean, the problem is you can really hurt somebody. I mean, when I was a kid, I was like, I got beat up all the time, so my mom made me go take judo, right? And that's all, like, I mean, I knew a little bit of judo as a kid, and that was enough to defend myself most of the time. But when you're on your level where you're training all the time and you know how to fucking hurt a guy, it's got to be a measure of self-control to not get inebriated in an environment where you might just fucking kill a motherfucker. Because like you're saying, this guy knew what he was doing, so he defended the triangle. But like, if this guy's an idiot after he slams you, maybe those elbows kill him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, like, and don't get me wrong, like, I was giving him credit for those slams. Like, he got fucked up. Like, I lit his ass up. Like, there was blood all over that patio. My boys, when they came out, they were like, dude, what the fuck? But, yeah, no, I don't really go out anymore. If I'm, like, in Vegas or on vacation, I go out. So that's the other reason I can fight short notice. Like, I don't really drink. I don't go out. I'm kind of a nerd, so,
Sure.
But, like, locally, like,
When
most
you say
people
kind
are
of a
cool.
nerd, what's the nerdiest thing about you? What's your nerd? What do you nerd on?
UFC on Xbox and watching Tony Ferguson and every fighter fight over and over and over again, so I can know everything that everybody does, so I can mastermind their demise.
Attaboy.
Mainly that whole taking over the world thing, but other than that, not much. Like,
So you
it's
just
just
are
like
somebody with
MMA.
the singular purpose of your career and your training, and I think that's like you've obviously like got the benefits of it. I mean, and also your brother probably has too.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like even like when we were like super like on the come off, like we would spend every dollar we had on ourselves, on our MMA. Like we would have to. There were so many times we had to go like return cans to be able to pay gym fees. Anytime we got any sponsorship or anything, we would go up to Montreal and train at TriStar with George St. Pierre, for us a hobby.
Shut
all
the
those
fuck
guys.
up! What? How did you not leave with that, you
Yeah.
piece of shit? What?
Well, I don't go there anymore. I'm not
Yeah.
giving them my credit. Like, I did it,
Oh
not
yeah,
them.
I suppose, but that's still
But,
crazy. So you've
yeah,
met
so
you've met GSP.
Yeah, my brother and him had a talk naked in the locker room about karate for like 25 minutes. My brother was like, dude, talking to George naked is the weirdest thing.
You're
Um,
like, you're my hero. Also, nice hog.
yeah, he's just like all
What's
infatuated with
up? Did he
sidekick.
mention like GSP got a decent hog on him?
Yeah, he's good. But yeah, they yeah, but anyways, he's like the nicest guy ever. And then I trained a lot with like John McDessie, Olivier Mercier, a lot of those guys. But the cool thing about that is I got to like when you're the American dude coming into the Canadian and European gym,
Mm-hmm.
and you're in all the pro practices, and no one knows who the fuck you are. They're all trying to end your whole fucking life.
Yeah,
Like,
you're the Euro trash there.
yeah, so like everyone wanted to go rounds with me. So when I'd be at pro sparring, everyone was like, every UFC guy in the room's like, can I be your fourth round? Can I be your fifth? So I'd fight 5 rounds in a row, all UFC fighters. So with my brother. And then we did that for a little bit. And then the cool thing is when you do that, you're like, hey, dude, I won fucking 4 out of those 5 rounds, and all those dudes are the famous dudes on my TV.
Oh
Like maybe
shit!
I should train harder, you know?
Yeah.
Like keep fucking going. So like that was the best thing out of it, you know? Everyone there is really smart, really nice, but those big gyms like that, like you don't get the love and attention and focus like you do like when I do my training camps, like even my jiu-jitsu, my 10th planet Livonia and 10th planet Detroit, Adelaide, Cleveland.
So you're
he's
a
a
10th. You're a
second
10th
blue
planet guy.
Yeah, he's a black belt under Eddie Bravo. Yeah, my coach.
Amazing.
And
That's awesome. Eddie
and
Bravo's the man.
yeah, and he trained under Eric Paulson. But like when I go to my morning classes when I don't sleep in, it's like 4 or 5 guys, 6 guys,
Sure.
like small little focal focus groups, and I like that. Like I like being the center of attention. I don't like just being like in a room of 90 people.
All right,
Like,
I gotta
that's
ask you. I gotta ask you something. I don't know if you like this guy or not, but who the fuck is Justin Guitar Hero James?
Dude, that's my boy.
Is he okay? Because he is the number
He's
1
fucking
ranked
awesome.
fighter out of Michigan right now in your weight class,
Yeah.
according to the power ranking. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah. Well, they lie. I'm the number 1 fighter in my
That's
weight
what I
class.
thought. I was like, who the fuck is this taking Corey Cuppy's spot?
Yeah. He's the number 1 guy in his weight class. He fights at 155, and I think he's gonna fight at 145 in the UFC. He's really good. He's been that dude. I think he's like 13-4, but that dude started MMA before me. He fought 50 amateur fights on the unregulated Michigan
God,
circuit.
that's
I was
fucking
talking
crazy.
about.
How much jaw cracking do you think that is though? Like at some point that's got to loosen your jaw up, right?
Well,
That's so many amateur fights.
I think he's never been knocked out.
Okay.
Actually, but I think the dudes that come through that like are the dudes that are handing out the beatings, you know. But he's a really good he's a college wrestler, so he could take some guys down. But he stands, he knocks people out with his hands. He's sick with it. But so when like he trains at Extreme Couture's in Vegas, and but anyways, when he comes home, we play poker, and he's coming to my gym. He's really cool. But when a
Wait,
guy
and
like
you
that,
play poker, dude? Next time you're in Minnesota, we're playing poker.
there we go.
We're gonna go get a poker game going, man.
I'm a donk.
Yeah, hey, everyone that's good says they're a donk. I'm a bigger donk than you, dude. What's up?
All right.
Hey, I just want to play you so that I can pay you for lessons, buddy.
I'm honestly playing. I'm about to play on my phone when I'm done with it. But yeah, so like Justin, when he makes his UFC debut, he's gonna be 13-4. That's 17 fights, but he has 58 amateur fights. Right? So like when you get a betting line talking about being a gambler, when he comes in short notice against someone and he's like a 2.5 to 1 underdog, motherfucker's got 70 fights. You know what I'm saying? So like it's kind of good. Like it's a secret weapon. Like that's like more than most of these guys at the top.
Well, I was reading on the internet about Khabib. It was actually I started out with reading about Mad Mags, and like ended up over in Khabib, and they were saying a lot of those Russian circuits, they don't report some of their fights, so a lot of these guys have way more victories than they're even talking about.
Oh yeah, and it's rough, man. Like me and Justin, when my brother, we would fight we're right on the Canadian border too.
Yeah.
So we would fight the battle at the border fights where they would be
border battle.
The whole card would be like 15, 20 fights, and it'd be Americans versus Canadians. And the Canadians were so good.
Yeah.
They would train for like 6 years and then like come in at 0-0. And the fucking Michigan guys, they would train the R-O-Nos, they would train like 2 days and be like, all right, let's see if this is for me.
7-foot trans Liz said, this dude checks all the boxes for I suck dick a lot. What is it? You know what's so funny is the people that think MMA is gay are often the people that aren't honest about being gay themselves.
Yeah.
Like people see Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and they're like, oh, it's just two guys rolling around. I'm like, if you see two dudes trying to choke each other out and you think that's gay porn, then the gay porn is within you.
So my counter to being gay, it actually, if you look online, my nickname that's out there that I can't get rid of is the Womanizer.
Yeah, that's actually on SureDog. That's why I was laughing my ass off. I was like, this is called the Womanizer on SureDog? That's fucked.
Yeah, and it won't go away. Like, it needs to go away. But the reason that happened is because, like, there was a while there I was dating a whole bunch of different strippers, but there were events every weekend in Michigan, and every promotion had like 3 or 4 ring girls. Well, I'm 22 years old and loving the game in this new world of MMA.
Hey man, if you can get a ring girl, do that.
Yeah, and me and my brother were like, hey, wouldn't it be something if we just like tried to bang every single ring girl in the state? Like, what is there, like 70 of them? Let's bang them all. So
basically, you see ring girls and strippers like Pokemon.
Right, exactly. Got to catch them all. So we went on a tirade, and then my teammates started calling me that, and I came out to that Britney Spears song and whooped somebody's ass, and then that's how I got the nickname. Now I'm like way more tame in my older years.
That's amazing. So you came out to Britney Spears Womanizer and then just beat some dude's ass?
I came out to Britney Spears Womanizer for my pro debut with 5 strippers dancing to the cage.
Oh my God. See, this is what I'm talking about. You seem like a fucking wrestling heel, man. That's a fucking wrestling heel move right there. That is amazing.
I hate wrestling.
You can hate it all you want, but like that's fucking rad.
I don't even wrestle in my fights. That was my life back then. So that was what we did. They actually had a promotion. This Asian promoter, Petey, and Petey instituted what's called the Cuppy Clause, where his ring girls have to sign contracts saying that they won't fornicate with the fighters because it was making his promotion look bad.
You crushed so much ring puss, they had to legally legislate it out.
Yeah, well, there was one show.
Sounds gay to me, man. Pretty gay, dude.
Yeah, there was one show where they had 3 ring girls. My brother took down one of them. I took down the other 2, and that's what happened with that. But like, it's not like the ring girls abide by that contract.
Hey, you're an American fucking hero, and I just want you to know that.
Yeah, really, like, the only reason I trained, to be honest with you, is just to get into like that UFC ring girl tier.
Yeah, you're trying to go from the minor league ring girls to the major league ring girls. Yeah,
right. And like, it's like our ring girls look good too sometimes if you drink enough.
Get it?
I didn't say they were all pretty ring girls. There's different ring girls. You get some good city. Like, they work at a strip club, you know, they're
Wait, are you trying to tell me, like, you get out in the boondocks and the ring girls aren't hot?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's the boat you Minnesota people are into.
That's informative and hurts, all right?
Because I was just there, and it was ridiculous. But, so anyways, you go up into the sticks, and, like, they're pretty, you know, sure, they're missing a tooth or two, but, like, they make it happen.
That's
Northern Michigan.
Yeah, not Upper Peninsula though. That's weird.
Yeah.
So all right, I have a question about you and your brother, and I'm not gonna ask you who'd win in a fight. I think that's a base question that's stupid and nobody cares. What I want to know.
How many people ask us that?
Oh, dude, I'm a big fan of the Diaz brothers, right? And like if I get a fucking another interview where they're asking who, like, because here's the thing: 1, it doesn't matter. 2, even if there is a definitive winner, neither one of you are going to let that out, because the next question is going to be like, well, how does that go down? And now you're giving out strategy, right? What I'm going to ask you is kind of a similar question, but not that. Is there a specific memory you have when, like, you and your brother were getting into it and you just figured out, oh, holy shit, my brother is game, on like a level you didn't think?
Yeah, I thought you were doing that whole prelude, and then you were gonna come right into it. So who would win in the fight, you or your brother?
Oh man, fuck that. I don't care. Like, check it out. You're the older brother, so I'm gonna assume it's him. Out of like just in general, the younger brother's always the toughest because the older brother whoops his ass the whole way up, and eventually everybody gets to that point where, you know, it's like you were talking how you had to sell cans and stuff for tickets and shit. It's like people that are poor, you're a little bit harder than people that grew up rich. There's just an amount of pampering that doesn't go into growing up. Like, I was very poor when I was growing up, and
we didn't grow up poor. We fucking got poor when we decided we were gonna fight in cages for a profession. Yeah, but anyways, my brother, you know, I think he tried to, like, when I could outmatch him when we were younger, a couple times, like, he would, like, try to kill me. He would come at me with baseball bats and knives and shit. We'd have all kinds of crazy fights. And then he started getting tough, but when I really realized, like, all right, dude, like, this guy's the guy. This guy's about to be the guy. He actually put me down with a head kick during sparring.
Oh, Jesus.
And I had a helmet on. If I didn't have the helmet on, he wouldn't have landed it because the helmet blocks your peripheral. That's my side of the story. His side of the story, he only head kicked me because I had the helmet on. But
so your official story is lucky shot.
Yeah. So anyways, he knocked me down with a head kick, and I fucking got pissed, and he fucking was like, "What, bitch?" Like, and he's like came at me. He was getting ready for a fight. And usually, like, he was really defensive, like, growing up, because I would put it to him. And he really, like, came at me like he was down to fight. And then, yeah, so that was when I was like, damn, all right. But, like, there were also a bunch of times, like, he jumped in street fights for me, like, because I was a star baseball player. I couldn't get suspended. So like,
you would have games where, like, people wanted to start shit with you, and he would jump in there and fucking – that's fucking dope. Because you can't put your baseball career on the line.
Yeah, so, like, I was getting scouted by colleges, and then I may or may not have womanized their girlfriend, and then they want to fight me, but I can't be fighting. So, like, one time, like, my brother was a freshman, and he took out a senior, just, like, beat the piss out of him because that kid wanted to fight me.
How proud were you as a big brother, though? How proud is that? That's got to make you proud.
Oh, bro, I was peacocking. I was just like, what, bitch? Like, imagine if you would have had me.
Yeah, that's the little one, motherfucker.
Right. That's the younger brother.
Well, that's the thing that I think, like, even with, like, the Diaz's, and I'm just drawing parallel because of that brother relationship. I think that it actually makes both of you tougher to look across each other when you're sparring and training, because you know your brother's tough. You were the one that beat the toughness into him, and he knows you're tough because you're the guy he's been reaching for his entire life, and that's like it sharpens each other, you know.
And I'll tell you what, nobody can fight him and put him in a state of fight like I can. Like, he could do a round with George St. Pierre. He ain't going to get the same fight feel he is that when he goes with me, because I know how to push all his buttons. I know how to trigger him. I know how to make him use adrenaline in his body that would simulate a fight.
Right, get mad and get sloppy and, like, let's fucking fight, bitch.
Yeah, I know his deepest secrets. Like, I can make him seriously angry, right? So if he does start doing good, what I'll do usually is I'll smack him and I'll call him a pussy, and I'll start making it an emotional, like, real street fight. And that's when we'll, like, usually escalate and, like, have crazy fights.
You guys, like, so you don't have to tell me who won or anything, but you guys, like, ever have a fight so bad that, like, you guys didn't talk for a while?
We've had fights so bad that so many people have just, like, left the gym empty, and it's just us two fighting in the gym for, like, 30-40 minutes.
Yeah, because they're not going to get you guys to leave. You're fucking fighting. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we own the gym too, so they're just like, all right, well, we're out of here. Let's just let these psychos kill each other and Like, yeah, and then he doesn't drive me home if we drove together. Like, we went,
So you've like
like
had
we
sparring matches where
hard.
like maybe you do better than you should, and then you have to walk home.
Yeah, yeah. No, usually that's just when I escalate it. But
Okay,
like
okay.
if he's getting ready for a fight, like there's nothing like feeling a fight. Like you ever be so mad at somebody, like my neighbors next door that are just screaming at his girlfriend like a lunatic all the time, but they're like you're just emotionally invested, like you just want to kill that person. Like that replicates a fight. Like if you're just kickboxing, that's kickboxing.
Yeah,
That's not a fight.
right.
Like if you're fighting, like you have that nervous feeling,
Yep.
and that like the way I look at it, like when we get into like those situations, that makes you better. Like I tell people, we probably had like 1,000 street fights. That's 1,000 good practice street fights growing up.
Yeah, that's some decent street sparring right there.
One time, one time, he wouldn't wake up for practice, and I made him a breakfast and an orange juice, and this was like 8 years ago. And he didn't wake up, and I'm like, you need to get the fuck up right now. I made you breakfast. He's like, fuck you, and I fucking threw the orange juice in his face. And he
Ha
woke
ha ha
up,
ha ha.
and he came at me, and we started fighting. And he came just out of a sleep, which is really messed up. And I put him in a Darce choke, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put this fucker to sleep. I'm like, you want to go to sleep? I ain't not eat my breakfast. So you're going right? Not come to training. So I go to put him in a Darce, and he's about to go out. He grabs my balls.
Ha ha ha
I
ha.
let go of that kid immediately. It was like, grabbed my balls. He stood up. He soccer punted me in the fucking face. And then we both went to training with black eyes, bloody faces. And,
They're like,
and
what
like
happened?
that,
You're both like, I fell at the exact same time.
yeah, that was like 7, 8 years ago. And I would say that day was the day like afterwards because like we were both like fucked up. Like our faces were swollen. Like we were hitting each other's knees and elbows and darces. And I'm like, dude, we can't be doing this no more. We're too lethal. He's like, I know, dude. But so now it's more of just like arguing, or if we're in sparring or grappling, then I may or may not bitch smack him sometimes and escalate it because I'm in that kind of mood.
When he goes and fights, are you usually in his corner?
I'm his main corner, and
How okay, so this
I
is an interesting thing that I wanted to say. How weird is it to watch your brother fight and know you can't jump over that cage and beat that dude's ass? Like they've like if your brother's losing or something happens, like how hard is it to just choke that urge down to just jump over that fence and go after the dude?
man, it's so hard. It's so much harder watching him and cornering him than my own fight. Like
See, and
I'll
that's
tell
what I
him like,
always thought. I thought that would be harder because in the moment of the fight, it's like a survival adrenaline burst. But when you're sitting there watching your brother fight, it's got to be cerebral and just fucking a mind fuck, man.
I know, and like I care so much too, and I'm so passionate that like I feel like I'm fighting the whole time. So like it's a roller coaster. Like luckily, luckily like we've each had like 40 fights. Like we've been knocked out once. The one time he got knocked out was like are you into conspiracy theories?
Yeah.
So anyways, we've each had like 30, 39 total fights. So make that, say round up to 80, right? We've had 80 fights. We've each been knocked out once in the same cage for the same promotion on the same exact spot in the cage. All right. In the beginnings of the fight,
That's fucking
both
creepy.
against
I hate this already.
both against people we already beat in under a minute, like under 2 minutes. All right. Both rematches that were, and both fights, the person cage side putting Vaseline on our face put a big, huge glob of Vaseline in our eyes, and our vision was fucked up.
Dude, that's
And
fucking crazy.
I have video evidence because I'm gonna fucking come at them one day when I have a bigger stage. Like, I'm not saying yeah, they landed the shot, but that happened. Like, I have proof. The same exact guy, the same cage. Anyways, so watching that was terrible. And then the other fighters.
Whoa,
the other
whoa,
fighters,
whoa. Holy shit. Check this out. Ronaldo Souza just tested positive for coronavirus, and he is out for 249.
Damn, I should go fight Uriah Hall tomorrow. Stick it to him.
Dude, you would beat the fuck out of Uriah Hall.
like
Uriah
him.
Hall is like a waste of a fucking roster spot, in my opinion. Like, there's nothing that guy does well. He just does not good enough. Like, he just does good enough to not be demoted.
Right. Yep.
All right, so
Yeah.
continue. Go
But
ahead. What
yeah,
you're saying? Somebody just
yeah.
Matt Doima posted
So
it, so I just broke the news. So
so watching. Yeah, I needed to know that for my DraftKings. But they watching him get knocked out. He got knocked out in 30 seconds, and he already beat the guy. And out cold. He didn't wake up for like a minute. Right? It was bad. And
oof.
I was really pissed. And all the other fighters from other fight teams, all the dudes Connor already smoked and beat before,
Mm.
they're all like jumping around and hugging each other and celebrating like they did something. And that was one of the angriest. Like,
Well,
if
that's
I would have
fucking
started,
weird as shit. Like, I mean, just even before you got to the Vaseline thing, which is garbage, like, and you have proof of it, like, the fact that it's the same promotion, same spot, same situation, like, that shouldn't happen.
dude, I'm telling you, and like it could all come out if I wanted to be like that, if that's what I spend my time on. I'm telling you, our state has been like colluding together for years to try to keep me and my brother from getting to the top, and we caught right through them. But like, if we lost, it would be like a fucking parade. They're like, finally, someone got them. They hate us, but
The falling
yeah,
of the
that
Cuppy
was,
Festival, they just, like, break out the bands.
oh, dude, it's the Cuppy show. It is like even since we started, right when we turned pro, we were fighting in like the co-mains of the pro shows, like main events. Like we came right into the game just with beef with everybody.
That's so
But
amazing.
so that was really hard for me because like I was like sad, worried. I wanted to kill the fuckers in the crowd. They were like dancing around and so happy because I'm like, you motherfuckers, dude. Like that was terrible. But there were other times too, like my brother broke a guy's leg in half in 30 seconds. It's on my
Jesus
Instagram.
Christ, what? Really?
Like Anderson
Tell
Silva
the people your Instagram.
at Corey Cuppy, KoreYkuppe. But yeah, there's I posted a Throwback Thursday like a couple days ago, but or like a week or two ago. But anyways, he throws a body kick at this dude, and the guy Muay Thai brings his leg up to check,
Yeah.
and Connor broke the guy's leg in half with a kick, like Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman.
Fuck.
And when that happened, I heard the snap, and they both fell down. And for a couple seconds, I didn't know whose shin broke because it looked like he got checked. And dude, it felt like a car accident. Everything was like in super slow, like adrenaline motion for like a couple seconds. I'm like, oh no. And then he popped up, pinned the guy's good leg, and the guy was like, don't hit me, and he walked away. Didn't hit him. And then
Awesome.
I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. Like, all that shin hardening's been paying off.
That's fucking dope, dude. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're coming up on time, but I wanted to go run down the UFC thing with you and just give me your pick and your instincts. I'm just so excited that MMA's back, man. Like, I'm a really big fan, you know?
Yeah, Jacare was my big pick, so.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I love, dude. Jacare is one of my favorites, dude. Like, I do every time he fights. I'm in my living room doing the alligator thing.
Yeah, that was my pick that I was gonna tell people. Like,
what's really crazy too is like even on the early prelim, you have Sam Alvey and Nico Price. Like, that's crazy to me. This card is just stacked. All right, so here we go. Right. So I guess Uriah Hall wins that. You got Watterson or Cookie Monster?
That's a tough one.
Right. That fight's gonna be just an absolute fucking like just hellfire. Because Cookie Monster ain't going down like that, and Watterson is gonna be pissed.
I'm going to go Cookie Monster by split, but it depends. It could come down to a split the other way. They think Michelle's hotter, but I think Carla's hot too. So It's going to depend. It's literally going to be one of those fights that's so close that it depends like what the creepy judge is like. Do I like the Asian or do I like the Mexican?
All right, up to the next one. And this one I'm going to qualify, right? Because this is the fight that I'm on the sly looking the most forward to. What is the over-under that Olenek can get the fucking Ezekiel choke on Fabricio Verdum?
I would say 0%.
My heart says 0, but Fabricio, like, Olenek lures these guys into wanting to bang, and then when they think they're on top of him, he falls back and he has it. He's done it to people, and I mean, Fabricio's like one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners that's ever lived, but like...
The thing about the jiu-jitsu guys, especially someone as strong as like Verdum, like it's fucking really like it's really bad for like they look at it like it's really bad for your name if that would happen. Like if he got Ezekiel from bottom out by Olenek, like that really tarnishes his legacy as like a jiu-jitsu guy.
So you're taking
I don't think
Fabricio.
he's
You're taking
allowed-
Fabricio in that fight.
Yeah, I think Fabricio's gonna light him up.
Okay, and then here, this is the very important loser leaves town match, I believe. Pettis versus Cerrone. That's the headline of the fucking undercard. Like, are you kidding me? It's like they have to fulfill any contracts that were up, you know. So like, but it's like there is not a better card to watch. Like, this is the best card I've seen in 2 years.
That's such a tough one. I'm gonna go Cowboy.
Yeah, I think Cowboy needs it more, and I think he's gonna show up in a way. But it's gonna be a great fight. I don't think that it's gonna be a quick one.
Yeah, I think, you know, if you look at his last opponents, he had to fight Justin, Tony, and Connor, and I think like he's probably really pissed off, and he's gonna come in with some swagger.
Yeah, this is the who didn't lose to fucking Tony worse fight.
Right.
All right, and then on the main card we got Hardy versus Castro.
Jesus.
All right.
Hardy by decision.
All right. Stevens versus Qatar. And this is an interesting fight because, like, Calvin Qatar is one of those guys that nobody knows, but that dude is a fucking killer.
So, Calvin Qatar was my pick, but Stevens missed weight by 5.5 pounds. So that's going to be a factor.
They're still fighting, though, right? So, yeah, maybe Stevens does win this time.
Yeah, they're still fighting, but that 5.5 pounds, that's like a half of a weight class. That's a big thing. And Stevens has lost 3 in a row, I believe, to all the top guys. But with missing weight, he might feel like he's fighting for a job. So that's going to be a dogfight. Like, I was going Cater, but now I don't know. I think that's a tough one. I'll go Cater.
I'll go Cater too, but yeah, I didn't know about that weight missing. I haven't really been paying attention to all that. Like, I watched the 2 embeddeds, but not the one from today. I'm just so excited for the fights.
Yeah, 5.5 something, man. That's a big.
That's like a weight class almost.
Yeah, that's a big one. So.
Nagano or Rosenstruck. I think this fight's going to be hilarious. I think Rosenstruck might take it to Nagano.
Oh, wow. That's bold, eh?
Here's the thing about Rosenstruck is that Rosenstruck just walks forward, and Nagano historically, like when he was fighting Lewis, when he was fighting Stipe, whenever he fights someone that he gets a really good shot on and it doesn't buckle him, he starts moving backwards, and that's when he gets in lost territory. And I think Rosenstruck is just going to keep walking forward.
Yeah, that one's going to be a tough one. I'm probably going Ngannou just because Stipe couldn't finish him. Like, I feel like he's probably more durable, and he looks scary right now. He's really scary, but
yeah.
That's gonna be like, don't blink, someone could die at any second.
All right, Cejudo and Cruz.
My brother just texted me and said, "Fuck, Jack Ray's got the Rona."
Ha ha ha! Tell him it was Brooke first.
So Henry's amazing, and I'm really kind of a Henry fan, but I gotta go Cruz.
Yeah, I'm going Cruz. I do like Cejudo, though. Like, I mean, this is one of those, like, what's really cool about what's going on in the bantamweight is that it's good no matter who wins. It's a good story no matter who wins that fight, and you could make a very convincing argument that the winner of this fight is the GOAT.
Yeah, I think it's for the GOAT. No.
And then Gaethje, Fergie?
I gotta go first.
I'm going Gaethje.
10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, Snapdown City.
Yeah, Homer. I fucking hear you. I see what you're doing there.
I think if Tony grabbed his neck and snapped him to the ground, he could submit him easy, but I don't think he was going to do that. I don't think they're going to do
that, though. I think it's a pride thing. I literally think they're going to stand in the middle and fucking trade. And the thing about Gaethje that everybody fucking sleeps on, man, is they crack him and they think, okay, and then they swarm. But, like, a cracked Gaethje can still knock you the fuck out. It's like, it's Robbie Lawler used to be able to do that. It's like they, like, stagger forward throwing hooks.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy one. I'm thinking, I don't know. I think Tony can get him out of there in round 4, round 5. He can gas him, but Justin can catch him. So it's
Tom Chilstrom said he just checked out that Instagram post you were talking about, and that's fucking crazy.
You saw it?
Yeah, he just went and looked because I put your Instagram in the chat room so people can follow you.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. He literally just broke dude's leg in half real quick. I was like, oh shit.
All right, man. Well, we are coming up on time. Thank you so much for doing this, man. Like, one of the things I wanted to tell you to you is that, like, I really that night of LFA that we were watching was one of those nights where it was like, I'm coming on board with this new under promotion, and just to see a talent like you. And then the biggest thing was like fucking the follow back on Twitter, and then just like looking into you, and then every single turn you were fucking solid. And I'm gonna tell your brother he's one of my guys too now. I'm a fucking Cuppy Brothers guy, man. Let's fucking
there we go. We'll get my brother on next time. Yeah, no, it's funny you were talking about how I followed you back at like 4 a.m, and I'm always up to like 4 or 5, 6 in the morning.
Yeah, so
like,
I usually go to bed at 6 and then I sleep in till like 12 or noon. That's why you didn't hear from me today till like 1 or 2.
Yeah, dude, they like the fights are in casinos, and like they probably think I'm a jackass because like it's 4 a.m. the night before my fight, and I'm out playing blackjack, and like people are looking at me like, dude, this guy's gonna get his ass whooped tomorrow.
I do the same thing. One of the favorite things ever is I'll do that Michigan, the Sault Ste. Marie Casino up there, and I'll go up there. Yeah. And I'll fucking do, because that room for comedy is garbage, but that poker room is one of the softest, funnest places to play poker I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, I believe it. Michigan.
That, and then there's also a place called, like, Turtle Creek that was in Michigan as well. That was, like, a resort. Yep. And that place, again, just soft-ass poker games. Also, we have 2 people saying you're following. One more time, tell everybody where to find you on Instagram and Twitter.
Instagram and Twitter at Corey Cuppy, KOREYKUPPE. Follow me. I may or may not get into conspiracy theories as well. And follow me there, because Facebook is starting to block all the real news.
Right. And here's another thing that you don't know is, so this show, I do a lot of like conspiracy theory stuff. So next time we have you on, you and I will go down a conspiracy hole. I feel like we got all the MMA shit out. We'll go down the conspiracy island next time.
Dude, you're going to get me killed. All right. Yeah, definitely.
We'll give you a screen name. Fucking.
Yeah, no.
We'll just, hey, we'll just move the first letter of your first and last name around. So it'll just be Corey Cuppy. They'll never figure it out.
I know. Hey, the cool thing about it is, like, one day all these conspiracies are going to be proven true. So
absolutely. I agree 100%.
And I'm going to be right there. Who's the genius? All right, man. Thank you
so much for doing this, man. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
All right, buddy. Have a great night. All right. That was Corey Cuppy, a LFA MMA guy. He's super awesome. And go there and find him wherever you can. Follow him on Instagram and Twitter at Corey Cuppy. I'll actually here do the ad for you. And that is both his Twitter and his Instagram. All right, we're going to be switching gears now. We did all the MMA stuff. I'm really excited for MMA, you guys. I know a lot of you don't care, and I don't care that you don't care because I like it, so fucking get fucked. But one of the things that's been going on is a lot of talk about testing and coronavirus stuff. But the funny thing about a lot of the testing stuff is that they're not really telling us how any of that is going about it, or how testing is happening, or what the future is of it. So I found this cool thing that was posted by The Times. I'm going to play it now, and we'll be right back. Thank you, guys. There's that. Boom. Don't forget to go to Venmo at Corey Adam Comedy. All of your donations go directly to me, and they help keep the show running and looking good. So here we go. This is we're going to watch this, and we'll be right back.
As time goes on, more people are wondering, did I have coronavirus already?
I can help the next person that completed it this way.
Now, Stanford hospitals in Northern California are giving their healthcare workers the answer with antibody testing for all. We were given exclusive access to follow 2 caregivers and their blood through the antibody testing process.
I do have a loved one at home, my mother, who is high risk. So I want to get tested just to make sure I'm okay and kind of maybe surprise her and say, I get to come see you.
First, they're swabbed to make sure they're not currently infected.
Oh my God.
And then they give a vial of blood for the antibody test.
There's so many asymptomatic carriers around, and there's so many people that may have had it or had mild symptoms and not have known. If I have the antibodies and someone needs my plasma, I'd be, love to help out.
Honestly, I'm hoping that comes back positive. It'll teach us a lot.
The blood antibody test for the COVID-19 virus.
This blood test, also known as serology, will show if they had coronavirus in the past, and their immune system raised antibodies to fight it off. But it can't predict if those antibodies will make them immune. What this and other reliable antibody tests can do is give us a better picture of how widespread coronavirus actually is. And they're helping researchers design possible treatments and vaccines.
More widespread testing will help us to better understand more quickly what are the important variables, who's going to be protected, who's not.
These are samples from the people we just met, including Heidi and Jim Sheet. Here, they'll be spun to separate blood cells from plasma. Next, that plasma is taken to a different lab on campus for analysis.
You can see the robot is precisely putting in the right amount of each sample into the wells in the plate. There's been great demand for the test. The lab is basically open 24 hours. The instruments have been running day and night.
Dr. Scott Boyd and his team developed this test, and now they're ramping up quickly. They've just received a new shipment of robots called ELISA instruments. Soon, the team hopes to process at least 4,000 samples a day. They use controls to validate their test so they know it works. The positive controls are from coronavirus patients at Stanford, and the negative are from healthy blood donors taken before coronavirus jumped to humans. Out of 200 people, the results for a few may be inaccurate, but this kind of test is among the best we have. You can see the controls here, in the left column of each assay plate. Once the plate finishes processing, you can see a yellow color in the patient samples that have antibodies. The darker the color, the more antibodies there are.
But just measuring the total quantity doesn't tell you all the information you'd like to know. The question is, does somebody likely have immunity? The answers are not yet as clear.
Only some antibodies actually fight or neutralize the virus, so the next step for researchers is to identify those ones. Then, how much of those neutralizing antibodies are needed to block the virus and prevent reinfection?
So we're also now working on developing a neutralizing antibody test that would allow us to test a lot of patients in the hospital and also healthcare workers.
That neutralizing antibody test, which Dr. Boyd hopes to have ready by the end of May, will give a better sense of who is actually immune. Remember Heidi from earlier? Well, we watched her sample go through the process.
Coronavirus.
And now her results are in.
Not detected.
All right, so what did the results say?
Negative. Negative COVID and negative serology, unfortunately. But it's a good thing, right? It can still be good. Today's really my only safe day because I go back to work tomorrow, so I feel pretty safe that I can go over, see my mom without a mask. I don't think she's got the ability to survive a disease like this, so I've had to be very careful. I haven't seen her face, she hasn't seen my face without a mask on since, the beginning of March. I'm negative.
What?
Yeah.
Yay!
You get to take your mask off at least for today. Come out here.
Oh my goodness. I'm so happy.
I miss you.
I miss you. Oh, I haven't had a hug forever. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, bye-bye,
All right,
sweetheart.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, thank you.
I don't know.
Jim Sheet's results are the same as Heidi's.
So I do not have the antibodies, which is great because that means PPE works, which is fantastic. I've definitely been in multiple rooms with people who've known COVID, and I've been wearing PPE. And I'm glad that I was at a place that I didn't have to reuse or recycle my PPE.
Preliminary data is starting to show that Heidi and Jim Sheet's negative antibody results are representative.
Hi, Rooney.
In places like the Bay Area that haven't been hard hit, only a small fraction of people are testing positive for antibodies.
You know, I go to the grocery store, I get it. I go to work again, I get it. It's out there, so I'm still going to take the same precautions. I'm going to still wear a mask.
But these tests are a first step towards understanding immunity. Just having antibodies is not a free pass.
Hopefully, if someone's positive, it doesn't give a false sense of security. I still think that everybody needs to protect themselves just the way that we currently are.
All right, so that is about the antibody testing, which is super cool. Yeah, there we go. Let's see here. What? Want to become famous? All right, the loop. We're gonna block you because guess what? This ain't for ads, bro. Goodbye. Boom. All right. Where are we at? Let's see here. JBTV is... He said 11. I thought he meant fucking here. Let's see here. We got to run over. Let's give old Tombo a call. Let's do it. Fucking, Tom. We're going to give Tom a call here, right? Fucking, what about it? Whoa. Roy Horn, the Siegfried and Roy guy died. Crazy. All right. Here we go. Bloop. What the fuck is happening? It's not working? There it goes.
What's up, dude?
What up, dog?
How you doing?
Pretty good. How's the crack?
Same old, I guess.
Yeah.
By
So you looked
crack,
into
you
that
mean-
Instagram thing? It was pretty gnarly, you said?
Huh?
You looked on his Instagram and saw that thing? It was pretty gnarly. I haven't looked at it yet.
You don't really see you don't see the other guy's leg bend out of place like he did Silva's, right? But when they both fall down, you don't know who is who, and then all of a sudden you just see this ghost look on the other guy's face. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I get it.
Identify yourself to the listeners, Tom. Who are you?
This is Tom Shellstrom, local, Minneapolis, St. Paul comic, friend of Corey for the last, 7 years, 8 years almost.
Ugh, has it been that long?
Just about.
I hate it.
Yeah. But, yeah, man, dope video, by the way, too. I really hope that they get that antibody test going because...
It's an interesting thing, and to know when people had it is important, I feel like.
Oh, I think so, too, especially considering the last time the CDC released possible symptoms, it all sounded like it was possibly the cold because that Rams center that had it, Brian Allen or whatever, he had such a minor symptoms and really no no real over the top symptoms. He just got tested for it because he went in for a physical and they tested for it and it came back and it was basically like he had a really bad cold. And I'm like, well, Jesus Christ, I know a bunch of people who had shit colds, the real bad colds back in January, February, and March. And now it looks like we all probably had it. We just didn't fucking know about it, seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what happened. I got sick this winter in a way that I've not got sick in years. And I don't think that that's a coincidence, that's what we're dealing with here.
Exactly.
And I don't know, man. Nobody wants people, I hate this idea that, if you want to do something this way or that way, you want people to die. Nobody wants people to die.
Yeah, I think the more I see people post that weird shit on Facebook or Twitter or whatever about, if you're going out in public without a mask, you're hurting other people's chances of surviving, even if it's not yourself. It's like, stop trying to make a villain of everybody. Everybody.
Nobody knows. You don't have a doctorate degree. Nobody on Facebook got fucking medical credentials. Let's calm the fuck down. And it's like I said and how I rant on the show. I do it all the fucking time. There's no math. We literally don't know what the numbers are. The experts in the field have no idea what's going on. Sometimes they think it's trending down. Sometimes they think it's trending up. This is a very weird new thing. And to act like there's definitive answers right now just seems to not understand the issue.
Exactly. And it's really hard to pinpoint where we should be even at this point because we have an understanding, but we don't have any vaccines for it. And we just are kind of telling people, if you get sick with it, you need to still just stay home and treat it like the flu. But then if you say it's like the flu, you sound like an idiot because, well, it's not the flu, it's much worse. The flu can still fucking kill you.
7 Foot Trans Liz says certified GYN here.
Thanks, 7-foot trans Liz. But no, I mean, I don't
7-foot
know.
trans Liz said, if you want to see my creds, give me a second while I Photoshop them up for you.
No, I respect that. I respect that. I don't know, man. Like, I'm just so sick and tired of having to hear from everybody. Because again, you and I have talked about in the past. I've shared on this show, like going into work every day and then fucking feeling bad about it because somebody posts on Facebook, that you should all stay home and stay home, stay home, stay alive, and all this other garbage. Like, some people do need to go out because their job is still just requiring them to work. That's just how it is, I mean, yes, you get to choose what job you go into, what field of profession you do, but the reality is, like, if you're supposed to work, you got to work.
Yeah.
But,
well, and that's the rising problem that they're noticing now. I have a link on that too. Is we're noticing that a lot of Americans aren't going back to work, even ones that can, and that's going to be
right.
more and more an issue as we progress down this hole.
Well, and one thing that I find kind of interesting too, and it just kind of crossed my mind, is that this is National Nurses Week, and it's following up right after National Mental Health Awareness Week, and I'm actually kind of wondering about how many of the quote unquote essential workers are going to leave this. They have to go into work every day, or 5 days out of 7 per week, and then come out of this feeling just terrible about themselves because of all the people who fucking ridiculed them on social media or whatever for just doing their fucking job that aren't nurses or doctors and stuff. I mean,
that's part of what I'm talking about, like it's like I shared that video 2 weeks ago where it was a bunch of medical people saying that they don't know what the fuck this is. They've never seen it. We may be trapped on this world. There's a lot of shit going on that they don't know about, right?
Right.
And so the thing is that, like, if the expert, like I keep saying, if the experts don't know what's going on, neither does anyone else.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, and I wish I was, more qualified to speak on it, obviously, because, it's something that I think is just, it is pretty fascinating at this point too. I mean, just because we don't know, we're still learning. It's weird to be, 2020 and we're just seeing this now. And because even Ebola didn't hit like global pandemic level like
Here,
this has.
Tom. Let me call you back. I'm going to go do this thing for JB real quick.
Okay.
I'll call you right back, okay?
All right.
All right, bye. That is Tom. We're going to call him right back. Right now, we're going to go over to JB Live, JB is on. He's in our channel right now.
He doesn't see this green drink I'm drinking.
But what we're doing is we're going to, hold on. We're going to, let's get this going. Here we go.
See. I think you can see some of the fizz.
We're going to jump over on his stream quick. Give me a sec to open the Discord. All right.
Hey, what's up, 09? Good to see you, man.
Hold on. We're going to do this. We're going to make this work. Damn it. Here we go. All right.
I know, Spinks. I know.
All right. Here we go.
All right, just waiting for Corey to hop up in it. Apparently he didn't hit the link. Yeah, this is what we'll do. Let's check his channel out real quick.
All right, we're going right through
Let's
here.
check his channel out real quick. He's live right now. Let's see what he's
Clicking this link.
Oh, that's a commercial.
Over here. We're clicking in. Here we go.
Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but Texas, motherfuckers. Texas. Your connection is shit right now, 09? That sucks, bro.
All right, hold on. We're logging in. And like I said, go over to JB's channel, and we're going to be doing this merch thing.
All right, let's see what Corey's talking
about. All right, so yeah, we're going to just jump into this Discord real quick here. And we're going to pop in.
All right, we get the play-by-play of him.
I think I'm in the Discord now. Maybe. Hi. Did that work? I don't know if it worked. I think it did. I think I'm in the Discord right now.
Oh, he's hearing me right now. There he is. I know.
Hey, what up?
I know. Yeah, it worked. All right, let me get off of this.
There we
He's
go.
definitely in.
So now,
All
how
right,
do I get it to work
let me
over
mute
here?
your
I hear
channel
you in a
real quick.
lag, but I gotta.
Hey, what's going on, bro? Can you hear me?
Hold on. Trying. This is weird. We're actually incepting right now.
Guess not.
I can hear you, but it's on a lag from your channel because I have your Twitch up.
Add that camera, brother.
Wow. Will it
All right,
not
just
let
waiting
me
for you to
because
add
I'm
that camera,
streaming?
bro. You could do it both at the same time too. You could be on Twitch and do the Discord at the same time with the cam.
Oh, there we go.
Also, Alpha, if you didn't know, you see how I do this in the Discord? How you can see my actual setup from OBS from the Discord? I can show you how to do that too. After
There we
this.
go. Okay. Hold on.
All right, Corey.
I think we got it. Hold on. We're getting it. Sorry. One sec. This is super interesting for everybody, I'm sure. Hold on. Why doesn't this...
Don't know tears. All right. Is he in?
I don't know. Hold on.
Can he figure this out?
This is tough right now. Hold on. It's letting me in the thing, but it's not... Ugh.
We're going to give him another call real quick.
Oh, I got it. Hold on. Hold on. I can hear you, JB. Hold on. Hold on. I figured it out. Give me one sec. I figured out what happened. Hold on. I'm confident of this one. Hold on. So here we go. We're going to pop this over here.
Come on.
Here we go.
All right, just waiting to get this worked out.
Just waiting. Here we go. Come on in. There we go. Booyah. Booyah. There. I think I got it. Did we do it? I think we got it.
We got it.
Yeah.
You're a little blacked out though, man. That's it.
What, okay, hold on.
We got it. I feel like I'm interviewing like
You're
a little blacked out though, man.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, hold on. I feel like I'm interviewing. Did you hit your camera?
There. Wait. Does that work? Well, it's on. It's streaming. Does that matter or no? Oh God.
Did you hit your camera?
I did.
I mean,
does that work?
I can
Well,
always
it's on,
put your
it's streaming. Does that matter or no? Oh God.
You know,
This
we
is
have
like
your
some
voice-
Inception level shit because I
can
just
al-
put you
I
on
can always put
desktop
your,
and now my listeners are watching.
You know,
I
we
know,
have your
it's
voice
next
in
This is
there.
like
For
some
sure,
Inception
man.
level shit because I just put you on desktop and now my listeners are watching.
All right,
I know,
hold
it's
on.
next level for sure, man. If we can't get
What is with this camera?
All right, hold on.
Turn it on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Have you set your Discord up?
What is with this camera? I mean, I thought I did, but
Yeah, I'm not
apparently I
sure.
did not.
Have you set your Discord up?
Let's do this. Let's
I
take a look
thought
at the
I did,
settings.
but
How are you
apparently
doing?
not,
This is very unprofessional.
I'm
I
doing
guess.
good. Doing good. No.
Let's do
I
this.
mean, how
Let's take a
professional?
look at the settings.
You know,
How are you doing?
it's all good.
Oh, there we go.
I'm doing good. Doing good. No. I mean, how professional? Watching you live in Discord, figure this out.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just as good as an interview.
Yeah. No, it's better than an interview. It means more.
I mean, this is can Corey Adams figure out how to
Look,
use Discord?
look.
I mean, it's amazing, dude. This is the
Corey
question right
Adams
here. We got some unsolved questions.
Oh, is it gonna work that time?
It's amazing, dude. This is the question right here. I see something moving. We got
See
some
something
unsolved
moving. I
questions.
see something moving. Come on, dude. Is it gonna stream two signals or no?
See something moving.
I see something moving.
Yeah, I'm literally
Come on,
live
dude.
streaming.
Is it gonna stream? Two
And you can see
signals
me
or
in
no?
Discord. You can see, see my little
Yeah,
picture.
I'm
I got
literally
the whole
live
desk and
streaming.
everything happening. And you can see me in Discord. You can see,
This
see
is
my little
pretty
picture. I got
crazy.
The whole desk and everything happening. Yeah. It'll get better though. It'll get better.
Yeah.
First time.
This is pretty crazy. You know, who cares? We got this.
It'll get better. Did you hit turn camera on? You see the camera right there?
I did.
See,
I
like,
turned it on in the things. I thought.
Okay.
Right there.
All
It
right,
says
this is
turn
what I'll
off
do.
camera. Should I log out and try to log back in because I changed the camera settings? Here, I'll do that real quick. Give me a sec.
All right.
Sometimes a little reset is all it takes.
You're live on your channel?
Yeah, I'm live on my channel. Hold on. So yeah, this is I told Jay that I would do this fucking interview, which is dope, but I forgot the time zone difference, so I double booked myself. So now we're going to do his show in my show. This is how...
What's up, Sugar Peas? Good to see you.
What up? Don't switch. Don't switch. Don't switch. There we go. Turn on camera. Does that do something?
I think Johnny,
there.
Johnny had the same issue, bro.
Really?
So, yeah. So let's just.
I mean, I can hear you, so whatever. And here's the thing: we're on my channel too, so who cares?
All right, this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna dub up like this.
I can hear you fine. I just don't know why the camera's not double feeding. So
just keep your mouth behind the keep your mouth behind the mic, and then we won't even know you're not talking to me directly.
No, I can hear you in perfect time. The Discord audio is working fine.
Yeah.
Tom Chilstrom says, "Holy fuck, figure out your life." Yeah, that hurts, Tom. Fuck you.
Yeah. Damn, Tom. Kind of a dick, Tom. Hang in there, bro.
It's not even trying anymore. I turned it on in settings. This isn't on me, man. This isn't on me.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get get your face somehow.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. So, let me see the settings real quick.
Oh, here.
We'll pretend no one's watching.
I like this. This is tech support. This is interesting. People don't get this kind of content.
It's true. It's true.
It says that it's enabled.
Yeah, go to video. Go up here. Where's the output? You got the camera right there. Can you test video? Click test video. With that little cat. I don't know why a cat with a camera. It's kind of stupid, but.
Yeah, it does nothing.
Does nothing. When you click into the your C922.
Yep.
Does it give you other options?
Integrated camera.
Like the one right? Yeah. Does it give you?
Well, this one here. Let's see if this one does anything. If I take off the thing here, hold on. Let's check this out. Oh, that's weird. Hold on, that's the one on board. So now we've got. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy talk.
There you are, bro. That's it.
Hi.
That's it.
There we go.
There it is. There it is.
So this is actually not my regular camera. My regular camera that I shoot with is right here. So I just tried the. It must be that if you're using the camera, because if I go back over to here, it goes there. That's crazy. All right, hey, how's it going? What up?
Oh, it's going good now. It's going good now. How you doing, bro?
Good. Yourself?
I'm good. And now you don't have to hide behind the camera and pretend that we're live, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Can everybody in my chat room hear the audio? I feel like they can, so we're good.
Oh, they can hear too? Perfect.
I think so, yeah. I think everybody can. They were just yelling at me to fucking figure it out, as they said, so that's kind of huge. I hate this camera, though. It makes it look like I'm, like, lurking above you. Let's see if we can just... There we go. Oh, see, but that's even worse. Okay. I guess we're back to lurking.
No, it's all good, man.
What up, man?
Yeah. Hey, you're the guest, man. You're allowed to lurk above right now.
All right.
This is about you.
I like how you have your guy over there with a face mask. That's very safe of you.
Oh yeah. And a little bit of distance, man. He's not completely in arm's range anymore.
Okay.
You know, it's the law. It's the law, man.
So this is a live stream interview on JBTV channel. So we're doing two channels at the same time. We're occupying Twitch. This is hashtag Occupy Twitch.
Oh, yeah. Completely occupying Twitch. And if you're not following Corey Adams, man, give Corey Adams Comedy a follow. Drinking a beer.
You know it. I'm excited, man. I'm getting drunk. It's fucking Blood Christmas tomorrow, baby.
What's Blood Christmas?
Fucking the UFC's back.
Oh my God. Those are later on. I'm going to ask you about that.
Okay.
Damn it, I fucking love the UFC.
Me too. I'm a huge MMA guy, and I'm so glad to have it back. I had a MMA guy as my guest early on, and Tom says yes, we can here, so that's dope. So all right, we're doing it official. Great. We're going. This is some Inception level shit right now.
Yeah. Well, my girlfriend's really tired of me talking about Tony Ferguson. She's like,
oh, see, I'm a Gaethje guy. I think Gaethje's gonna win.
Oh, it's me versus you tomorrow. We'll get to that. Shit. We'll get to that.
Tom Chilstrom, one of our local guys here that we love to hate on, says, yes, we can hear you and you look fat.
Oh, well, maybe both of us, man. Maybe we're twinsies.
Pretty nice that I look fat, you assholes.
Oh, shit! What a good dude. You know, some about your followers on Twitch is beautiful, man, when they either don't show up.
I like to generate hate. I feel like everybody focuses on love and nurturing, but hate is really how the internet loves.
Yeah. I think you're right. You know, hate's underrated, man. Hate is underrated. But hey, What made you want to become a comic, man? Like, actually, who made you want to become a comic? Like, what comic?
Oh man, I don't know. It changed as I grew up. Like, I mean, I remember like taking a Sam Kinison tape when I was really young and just being like, this guy rules. But I think for me, like, it was probably Bill Hicks. It was the first time I saw Revelations when I thought, holy shit, comics can be rock stars. That's awesome.
Yeah, he was. It was almost like a Euro rock star, though. It was like he didn't really blow up in America, Bill Hicks. He was really huge in Europe, though, like huge, like a monster.
Yeah, he was way bigger in Europe prior to when he died. He actually didn't. It was kind of like what Nirvana did. Like, they didn't get huge till after he died.
Exactly. Then Kurt Cobain was the most loved guy ever.
Yeah,
post death. Yeah, for sure. Bill Hicks, though, there's a lot of people that stole from him. Dennis Leary.
Yeah, Dennis Leary stole the whole thing.
Yeah. And Dennis Leary also stole from Louis C.K., man, that whole asshole thing.
Yep.
I'm an asshole. Yeah. So how long have you been a comic for?
Oh, shit. Like this time or just in general?
Just in general.
I don't know. I started comedy, like my first stand-up set ever was when I was like 8 or 9 years old. It was a talent show in grade school. And I didn't write any of the jokes. I just like took jokes that I thought were funny and told them because that's what I thought stand-up was when I was little.
Yeah.
And like it was actually funny because I forgot I did that, and I was talking to like a great aunt, and I had a relative pass away who was older, and like it was like one of those things where you're sad that they passed away, but everybody was pretty happy because she was in a lot of pain right before she died.
Yeah,
so it's like, at least she's at peace, and like she was 90 something, so like, it's a good run.
Yeah.
And we're talking about it, and like my great aunt is like, yeah, I always knew you'd be a comic. You did that comedy show when you were in grade school, and I was like, oh, holy shit, you're right. Like I hadn't even thought about that.
Oh, that's crazy, dude. 90 years though, man. I'm gonna last. I'll probably be late 50s, maybe 60s.
I don't even give a shit. I just want to last till the end of tomorrow, baby. God, I'm so excited for UFC.
Oh, dude, I'm so damn pumped for it. I almost want to skip all my comedy questions for you and just go right to the UFC.
No, we
I
can
think
get them all in. Touch the bases, baby.
Yeah, we're gonna touch the base, man. We're gonna rub the base in the sweet spot.
Ooh, I like that. I love sweet spots.
Exactly. Dude, how would you describe the scene in Minnesota, by the way?
Minnesota's great. Here, let's do this. You can really see my extra chins when I lean over. That's why I do this. Check that out. One chin, 17.
Dude, but it's about the stash.
17. Oh, yeah, the stashes. I mean, that's the brand image right there.
Oh, dude, that's fired. Like, I think that mustache right there would have the Pringles man blushing.
Oh, and it has.
Yeah.
I don't want to brag, but sour cream and onion was my idea.
Oh shit! That's next level.
What was the question? I don't know. I'm fucking a whack.
How would you describe the scene in Minnesota?
Oh, Minneapolis is great. Like it's. I would say Minneapolis is probably like the 4th or 5th best scene in the country.
Oh yeah, because you got Acme, right?
Yeah, we have Acme, which is routinely a top 3 club. We have just a field base of probably. I mean, we have probably 80 comics locally that could just bury most other comics. I mean, it's really, really strong. The only thing I can say bad about Minneapolis is that I think that we have people who stay here longer than they should, myself included, because it's such a nurturing environment. Like, but I mean, almost everybody here, if they move to LA or New York, they could bury their counterpart there. My opinion.
Yeah. Well, they say you go to New York to learn comedy and get good at it, and you go to LA to sell it.
Yeah, or you go to New York to do radio, you go to LA to do movies.
Yeah.
But for comedy, like comedy in New York is a big rite of passage, and you could make I think New York is probably the best comedy scene in the country. The main thing about New York is that it's a lot more open mics. It's a lot less time, so it forces people to really just get it like polished and good and brick by brick. And I've like almost anybody that's lasted a couple years in the New York scene are better writers for it. Whereas with LA, it's a little bit more lax, a little bit more West Coast, and it's more about selling the persona of who you are as a comic, I think.
Yeah, and it's almost more loving in California, it seems like. In New York, they're like they're kind of just talking shit to each other, which is pretty cool.
That's true.
Out of New York, I really like Mark Norman.
I've met Mark Norman. I've hung out with him. Him and I, he won. I hung out with him in Nebraska at the Great American Comedy Festival that he won.
Oh, dude, Mark Norman. I think he's the funniest guy right now.
We actually, in Minneapolis, we have a comic named Ryan Call who has the same exact cadence and voice, but it's like his comedy is like more localized. Like he's got a lot of like fuck Wisconsin jokes. But he's pretty fucking funny. And every time I hear Mark, like, that's the thing that's weird about comedy is that there's only so many styles. And once you identify the vein, I mean, like there's all kinds of different styles. And I look at it and it's like we have a guy here who, my favorite comic locally, and maybe my favorite comic alive probably, is this guy named Chris Maddock. And if Chris Maddock, he's a guy that nobody's heard of. You can go on Spotify. He's got an album called Point of Entry. I highly recommend it to people. But this is a guy where if he was in LA, there would be no Kyle Kinane because he's a better Kyle Kinane. And it's got, there's just a bunch of them. Like I believe we have a local person here named Mary Mack, and I just believe that if she was in LA when Maria Bamford was, she would have edged out Maria Bamford, who's also from Wisconsin and came up in Minneapolis.
Maria Bamford is?
Mm-hmm. She's actually was born up in Duluth.
Oh, snap. Oh, man. I was going to ask you that, too. Who do you think the next one out of Minnesota is going to be?
Corey Adam, easily.
That Corey Adams guy?
Yeah.
You
it's
know,
Corey Adam. There's no S. I'm fat, but I'm not plural fat.
That Corey Adam guy.
Yeah.
All I know about him mostly is, you know, he's pretty good at interviews and he's got a dope mustache.
Number one. I had a number one album on iTunes. I'm Nick Swartzen's opener. I've opened for Rob Schneider. I got this.
Oh, shit. Number one on iTunes, though.
Yeah, my album Jokes, you can get it on Spotify, you can get it on iTunes, but when it was there, it was number one on iTunes for a weekend. Now, the part that I leave out is that there was no real comedy album that weekend, and I lucked out.
Wow.
And I beat a Bill Burr album that had been out for like a year. But
Yeah,
I was this I love. I was knocked off the number one spot by an anthology of Weird Al, which was all of the Weird Al songs for like $10.
That's cheap though. Man.
Right? No, I mean for all the Weird Al songs for $10, and that's what's beating me. Like I can live with that. I can't compete with that. Yeah, that's
dude.
fine.
I mean, you know, Amish Paradise, dude.
Yeah,
pretty dope.
Man, I'm just realizing how bad and unflattering I am at this angle. Wow, it's not a lot of show magic that goes into this body.
Whatever, man. I think that sometimes when you see some comedians that are a little bit too fucking sexy to be funny. Me,
you're not funny if you're sexy. You've never had to. If you're a good-looking person, you're probably not funny because people will just give you what you want because you're funny or because you look good.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a beautiful woman that pretends she's funny and like she lets me get some attention from her, I'm gonna laugh at everything. Oh, you're the greatest. You're the greatest. I mean, you know, Brandon Schaub's is blowing up.
Fuck Brandon Schaub. I said it. What up?
Good. I feel the same. Did you see his stand-up, man? His Showtime
it's fucking
special?
garbage.
I seen like 15 minutes of it, and I was like, oh.
Here's all you need to know about Brandon Schaub, right? Joe Rogan vouched for him, but you'll never see him opening up for Joe Rogan. That's all you need to know. When you go and see Joe Rogan, you don't see Brandon Schaub opening up for him. If Joe Rogan legitimately thought that Brandon Schaub was a funny comedian, he would have him on the road opening for him, period.
I feel like Joe Rogan... I feel like Tony Hitchcliffe writes for Rogan.
That could be. I mean, I don't know. Rogan seemed like the thing about Rogan is that it could be that that's what's happening now. But as far as comedy, if you go and you look at Joe Rogan Live, which is one of his specials, that one he was very clearly writing, and that was one of the best specials that took place in that era of like late 90s, early 2000s. And so it's easy for me to think that he just, decided to not write and pays somebody to do it. But at the same time, he broke with stuff that he wrote, so he gets to do that if he wants. But I don't know, man. If you listen to the Rogan show here and there, and obviously nobody can watch all of it because there's too much content, but a lot of what you see is stuff that sounds like what he was saying before. So I think that he's still writing his stuff.
Yeah. I just feel
we
like
actually have 3 people in my chat room right now saying, fuck Schaub.
Yeah, no, he sucks, dude. I think everyone kind of knows it too. I don't know if you know who Porcelain is.
Oh yeah, hold on. Tom wants me to go. Mary Mack, check out Solar Opposites on Hulu, y'all. Like she's one of the voices in that thing, and it starts tomorrow.
Oh, is it the Alien TV show?
Yep.
Like this. Oh yeah. Have you how have you been doing since this lockdown happened though?
Terrible.
Do you go? How many times a week do you go up?
None. There's no comedy. It's been locked down for a month.
Before this, though.
Oh, before that? Shit. I mean, probably, 2 or 3 times a night, 5 nights a week, and then, so I mean, maybe 15 to 20 times a week.
That is insane, but that's what you have to do, though, to really master your hour and stuff, though.
I got a really funny. Where is it here? The last open mic I did was at Acme, which is my home club, and it's super funny because I don't know if you can read this, but they had like right there. Because they had to cancel out everything, and then all the way down is me getting my first. That's the first 10 I've ever gotten at that open mic, and it's just super funny because I have a sheet that's my first 10, and it says opening this week COVID. Because they had to cancel all the shows. That was literally the last show that they had open.
So COVID was actually headlining then.
That's right. That's what they have appearing this week is always the headliner. So they put out the flyer like COVID was the headliner.
Have you been watching any of these stand-ups without crowds?
I have.
They're fucking horrible.
They are fucking horrible. That is accurate.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like the problem with it is like I understand the logic of like, well, let's just get reps. Let's do what we have to do. I get that. But the reality is it's not stand-up. You don't have the crowd there. You're not getting the reaction. And a lot of these, at least ours locally, and there's a few good ones that I've seen too, to be fair, but a lot of them are just a bunch of open mic comics coddling each other and convincing each other that their jokes that aren't funny are funny, whereas if there was an actual crowd there, they wouldn't be laughing, so everybody would know it wasn't funny.
Yeah, it's true. I'm seeing like a lot of stand-ups where, well, it's not really a stand-up, I guess. I guess they're doing stand-up, but it's like on Zoom, and there's like 12 other comics. Yeah. They're silent while the other ones do it. But you got to work your stuff out some way, I guess.
Well, but I mean, that's like you just, everybody had to find their own way. It's it's like MMA. Like if you're talking about MMA, right? It's embracing the grind. The thing about stand-up comedy is that at this point, I've given 12 years of my life. This is what I want to do, and I've followed it as hard as.
Yeah.
But the reality is that that's not available anymore. So everybody's path is different. Like for me, I just started doing an interview show 3 hours a night on Twitch because like the idea was even if this doesn't end up being something, it's something that I like
get to work your shit out.
Yeah, but I think there's a weird thing happening with Twitch specifically where during this pandemic, people are realizing that they should have been paying attention to Twitch a lot more than they were. And I'm in that. And I was on Twitch before. It's not like I didn't start my Twitch account because of this. I mean, I was streaming me playing fucking Witcher and UFC 3 and whatever else. But there's a real interesting connection that's coming to the social media and to the internet that wasn't before. And the funny part is that everybody that's getting in now, you're too late. Like if you're not at least at affiliate right now, good fucking luck. I mean, I'm affiliate and I haven't made partner, but I don't care. I'm just like, okay, I have some kind of monetization. But like if you were trying to start up a channel from scratch right now to get monetized, best of fucking luck.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all, man. And like you said, though, I think there's way more eyes on Twitch. But who knows once the lockdown's done if it's going to be the same thing.
Well, I mean, for comedy, I don't anticipate it being the same thing. When the lockdown's over, they're probably going to be telling theaters how many people they can seat. And the thing is that's crazy about that is that, so in comedy, you have like 3 or 4 different kinds of venues, right? You have your like do-it-yourself where it's like at a home or in the backyard, right? You have your bar open mic, right? You have your, I guess there's 5. You have your small clubs, you have your big clubs, and then you have what I like to call like your stadium seating stuff, like your Funny Bones, or like here we have one called House of Comedy. Just there's comedy places that seat over 200, sometimes 300 people. And those venues methods, like the algorithm is they grab a celebrity who may or may not be a comic. It doesn't matter. Just somebody that was on like, fucking America's Got Talent or whatever. It says they're doing comedy, right? Like Shop. You're not a real comic. You're just trying to profit off the fact that people in comedy know you.
You need 10 years first, right?
Right. And 10 years is it's fucking what, 10,000 hours or whatever. That's the rule, And so the thing about it that's interesting is those big mega domes that are just selling tickets off these headliners. Like when I go with Nick Swartzen, like, I mean, there's 500 people. So, I mean, I've done rooms of thousands with him, and those venues are not going to be allowed to have that kind of attendance. Like they're going to put something in place that's like a third or half or whatever of the attendance so that the attendance it's not going to make the formula profitable anymore. They're not going to be able to make money if they're not going to be able to pack it in. So all of this shit is changing. And the other thing is for comedy, one of the things we've been relying on for the last year and a half was the growing craft beer. A lot of your breweries are doing stand-up. And I mean, I don't know what it's like where you're at, but in Minnesota, a lot of our breweries are not reopening.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, this was such a hit for them. A lot of them are going bankrupt, and that's a wrap,
It's crazy to think of how many businesses are living check by check, not just regular people, but businesses literally paying their people check by check,
Right. I mean, that's exactly what's like super weird about it, you know?
Yeah. I think. What about outdoor events? Why not?
What?
You know, I feel like outdoor events. It'd probably be weird for the mic and like the acoustics, but I feel like comedy is gonna have to go to an outdoor event for a couple of years, maybe.
Oh, at least. I mean, and that's the exact thing is that everything's changing, you know? I mean, and I'm not trying to scare anybody or say, "Oh, you got to do this or that," but the reality is that you have to hustle and you have to adapt. If you don't adapt, you die. Everybody knows that, whether it's fighting, whether it's sports, whether it's comedy, whether it's your career, whether it's like whatever it is. If you don't adapt, you die.
Yeah.
And, you know, even Twitch, yeah. And that's the thing that this represents is this is a critical moment of adapt or die for everybody involved.
It's just crazy because like everything was. It's like it was all good just a week ago, you know, like everything was perfect. Then all of a sudden out of nowhere, this is the new normal. It's almost like a version of a 9/11 almost, you know?
Oh yeah. I mean,
like
it's worse. Forever. It's worse than a version of a 9/11 in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess it's taken more people. I said token. It's taken more people than that, which is kind of
You
crazy.
saying that really tooken me by surprise.
I know. It tooken me by surprise that I said taken. I said it right.
No, I could tell that you totally got took.
Yeah, completely, man. You know, like Liam Neeson had me in a
That's right. I have a certain set of skills on Twitch.
Dude,
yeah, it's so funny when you told me 11, I didn't even fucking think of the time difference. It didn't even fucking occur to me, man.
For some reason I thought Minnesota was like an Eastern time zone deal.
Nah, we're Central.
Yeah.
You're Michigan, right?
Yeah.
We just had a local MMA guy there on our show. Corey Cuppy, Lansing, Michigan guy.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, him and his brother are basically like the Diaz brothers of the minor leagues, and they're breaking into the UFC right now.
Are they both signed to the UFC?
No, so Corey Cuppy, the guy that I was talking to, he just did his first fight with LFA, and basically he'll be next in line for a Fallout gig for UFC. The dude, like, the highlight reel is crazy, though. He fucking up-kicked this dude, almost knocked him out, scrambled to his feet, and then gave him a Superman punch down. I've never seen it. I've never seen anything like it.
Who even throws a Superman punch these days?
Right,
you know
but a Superman punch down? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, all it takes is a nice highlight, too, to get you in the
Yeah,
UFC.
well, and that's kind of the thing that we were talking about is how he was, like, he's been, like, in the lower leagues in Michigan, and he's got a problem with a bunch of the promotions because apparently you guys were unregulated for a long time when it came to MMA.
Yeah.
So he's actually got like 20 wins that aren't counted on his record. So he's being like treated like a guy with 11 fights, even though he has 30 plus fights.
Well, there's a lot of like Native American casinos.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to regulate that. So people are just roided up, just doing their first fights in the MMA at the Native American casinos.
Oh, crazy.
You can just see it. You can see like veins popping out of their teeth. Like
where do you get steroids? I'm very fat and I would like to have steroids. I'm not in an athletic commission. It's fine.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I need to go to the steroid store myself.
Yeah, where's the fucking medicinal steroid bill, assholes? I want medicinal steroids, medicinal cocaine, or I'm done talking.
Yeah. You know, legalize meth, baby.
Whoa, now you're taking it too far. You're taking it too far, man.
That's a sports and joke too, man.
Yeah, I know.
For sure. Yeah. Dude, how often did you hit the road before this?
All the time. I mean, when comedy pulled the plug, I mean, I watched $3,000 disappear in the first 3 weeks. At this point, I've been keeping a tally because, you know, I like to cry myself to sleep, but I'm down probably $9,000 at this point just from gig money. And that doesn't even include merch money because I also sell CDs. I sell stuff at the show, and that would have been more.
Yeah. Oh.
Especially with those Swartzen shows because there's so many fucking people there.
Oh, there has to be. Have you hit Michigan yet?
Yeah, I've done. I work for Funny Business, which is a booking agency out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's run by the Yoders.
Yeah.
I've done Turtle Creek Casino, and I've also done Sault Ste. Marie Casino. So a lot of Upper Peninsula shit.
I've lived in Sault Ste. Marie, by the way.
Shit gets weird. Sault Ste. Marie
Casino
feels like a Stephen King book.
Yeah.
Like you drive in, and it's one of those like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah,
and everybody's like nice
weird.
enough, but they're like nice while making it clear that they don't like you. It's really weird.
There's a weird vibe up there, man. It's changed. I was a little kid. I went back and forth from like Detroit, so it's like the crazy city.
Yeah.
And to Sault Ste. Marie. And you've been to Sault Ste. Marie, so I actually lived there and went to a little bit of school there.
Okay, yeah.
That's crazy.
I hate that drive. So like the company that books it, Funny Business, they book it with the most infuriating fucking tour ever, because you start and you go to like La Crosse, right? So you're in Minneapolis, you go to La Crosse, then you go to Sault Ste. Marie, and then you have to double back to Duluth. And it's infuriating because they're adding like 2 hours on that you don't fucking need on if they could just book their fucking show right.
Yeah. Well, so you went to, were you with Nick on when you went to Sault Ste. Marie?
No, that was just a strict Yoder gig. I was the feature. They booked the headliner. It was, Justin Duke? No. What the fuck was that guy's name? Justin Duck, maybe. Guy out of St. Louis. Very funny.
Yeah. So you do an MMA podcast too, huh?
I do well, I mean, I don't right now. So I do 2 podcasts. I do one called Unregulated Radio, which is a call-in show on Mondays. I do Sunday Night Fights, which is a Sunday MMA podcast, but both of those were not allowed in the studio because of this COVID. So none of them are going right now, which is why I did this show.
Yeah.
I mean, this show is literally me just like, well, because what do? Am I going to stay at home, cry, and like be mad that my profession got blown up? No, you can't do that. You have to adapt. It's like a fight, you know? You're in there, you get hit in the leg, and your right leg is fucking trash. Like, you can either give up there or figure how to fight without a right leg. That's all.
Yeah, it's true. And I don't know, man.
Also, everybody give to me on Venmo. Corey Adam Comedy. Every bit helps. COREY80AM Comedy. Also, CoreyAdam@gmail.com on PayPal. There you go.
How long do you think it's going to take for people actually are confident enough to go into a stadium? I think maybe sooner than we originally thought, because people are kind of fed up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on where, though, because I think that like this is clearly transforming from a pandemic to a political agenda. And I don't mean that as far as like this or that, but we're at a point right now where the Dems are sandbagging the lockdown because they want to tank the economy because they want to win the election. And so the Republicans, in response, are posturing a war with China because if the economy tanks, the only way you get that back is with a war. And so it's really interesting to see, like, if you're blue, you want to stay inside. If you're red, you want to go outside. And all of us in the middle are like, yeah, but what about the fucking sickness, you twats?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's kind of crazy, though, because it's like, what would happen if our dollar did crash, though? It'd probably be worse than the effect of the COVID disease anyway.
I mean, it depends, honestly. Like, the shit that nobody wants to talk about is it depends on where you live. No lie, Michigan, Minnesota will probably be fine, but like LA, New York, that's some Mad Max shit there. That's when Fallout 3 shit starts happening.
Yeah, New York's pretty crazy, but I hear a lot of the deaths. Like, if you have any other disease while COVID's happening and you have COVID, they're like, well, mainly you have COVID. You might have cancer everywhere, but you also have COVID, and that matters more. So
well, the thing that I've been advocating on my show and just in general when I'm interacting with people is that it's important to put everything in perspective and understand the fact that we don't really have any math. Like, none of the math that we're hearing is really accurate. Like, for instance, I'll give you, like, so when it was first coming out, we had China reporting the numbers, which China lies about numbers, so you can't trust those, right?
No.
Then you had Australia reporting their numbers, but Australians also were standing around for 8 months in just fire smoke because of those fires. So do you think having degenerated lungs might play into a virus that targets the lungs? Of course it does. So that math can't be trusted. Then you go to Italy. You have an old population with an entire populace, one of the highest per capita smokers out there. So their numbers can't be trusted. Then you move into America, and America gets really funny because now you can either trust our numbers or you can Google influenza numbers and see the first 70% drop-off in influenza deaths in 2 months in history of it being recorded. Now, what's more likely? Influenza took a downtick for the first time ever, or people are misdiagnosing something that looks just like fucking influenza?
In our country, it's almost like pop culture these days to be the victim. So people,
of course, it is. Well, we
empowered
that.
Corona. I know.
Part of the reason why the Dems are in such a weird spot right now is because they basically embraced they embraced a culture of identity politics. And the problem was they splintered their entire party into 7 sects. And no matter what happens, 6 of those sects are going to feel like they're going to be fucked. So it's impossible for them to actually rally and get all the votes. And the reality is that at this point, Republicans, whether or not they like Trump, they really like how much Democrats hate Trump. So he's getting reelected on that aspect just in general. I really like Amish, the guy that's actually from Michigan. That guy I think is fucking rad.
I thought Andrew Yang wasn't that horrible.
I like Yang. Like I could, and here's the thing: I could like my whole thing is I'm just done with the two-party system. I feel like neither of them are representing us, and we just need to move on from that archetype. And I'm not a big Bernie Sanders fan, but if he ran as an independent, I'd vote for him. It's just so important to give the fucking finger to these Republicans and Dems right now. Fuck you. We have a pandemic, and you're turning it into a political agenda to win an election. Get fucked.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You hear Pelosi talk. But, like, the thing is, though, man, if we have a third or a fourth party, they're just going to use that against the main parties, the two main parties, to try to get one of them not elected who could be elected, you know? Like an independent, like, say if Bernie ran independent, a Democrat will be president because a lot of independents are going to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
Where, you know.
Well, and I think that's why I think that Justin Amash has one of the most interesting routes right now because he's probably going to run as a libertarian, which means he's going to get a lot of that big funded money. He's probably going to get on the ballot in all 50 states. But the main thing that he has is a voting record of being very conservative, but also hating Trump. And if that doesn't reach to both sides of the aisles, I don't know what will.
Well, I think the only thing that anyone else can do, a third party, a fourth party, a fifth party, a 25th party, all they can do is distract from the two people because they're going to get the votes. A Democrat and a Republican are going to get the votes no matter what.
Yeah, but the fuck you vote is important, man. The fuck you vote is important.
That's how Trump became president, I think.
I don't think it is. I've never bought that. Trump became president simply because the Democrats ran the worst candidate in
Hillary
history.
Clinton?
And she's only the worst candidate in history because she lost to the second worst candidate in history.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying when like the Democrats don't understand why they lost that election. And that's why they're going to lose this one. It has nothing to do with Trump. Trump is a fucking like here's the thing about Trump. Everybody wants to make him out to be this devil, this demigod. He's a snake oil elixir timeshare salesman. That's all he is. He's not the devil. He's not a good person. He's just a fucking businessman. That's it. And the harder that the left tried to sell this is the end of the world. I actually got into it on Facebook with a buddy of mine about this. It's funny to me how everybody that's so adamant about conspiracy theories should never be trusted are the same people that are adamant that there was Russian collusion. And whether or not you believe there was or not, you have to admit that at this point, now that Flynn got dishonored, all this stuff that didn't stick, that does qualify as a conspiracy theory. No matter what you think about Russia, and I think it happened, but it does qualify as a conspiracy theory. And we've gotten into this weird two-faced moment where it doesn't matter what you do as long as the other side of the aisle is doing different. It's like with this COVID shit. Everybody wants to blame Trump. Oh, he did this and that. That's not how our government works. It's all state mandated. It has nothing to do with your president. You could put the person you love the most in president and it wouldn't mean shit. If you have a problem with this pandemic, you have a problem with your governor. That's just how it works.
Yeah, it's a statewide thing, man. I have the dumbest governor probably of all 50 states.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, she's really stupid.
I really also hate like that she says like so for Michigan, right? I hate the fact that you guys call yourself Michiganders. I hate that word. It bothers me. It sounds like a fucking like gaggle of gooses. Oh, here comes a Michigander of gooses. Get fucked. And she says it all the time.
You son of a bitch.
Well, I'm just saying, like, dude, how much cooler does like Michigonite sound or Michigans?
Yeah,
like, I don't fucking know.
They could have made it cooler.
It's not like Minnesotans is any better. I'm not like whatever, but it's just like
I know.
She says it all the fucking time, and it's like, shut up, I hate you.
Yeah, and she doesn't give a shit. She's just like, I'm elected to Michigan, so I'm gonna use all the cool catchphrases. All my Michiganders, like, we really didn't care about that. Like, oh, she said our names, man.
Oh, shit. We're getting subs over this, man. Thank you.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
Hell yeah.
You know, these COVID times, man.
That's
man
right.
that's out of work like you.
Oh, I need it, man. I mean, this represents my supplemental income right now because for me, I really thought that comedy, like stand-up comedy, was not a feasible option. I'm on the radio every Thursday on the Steel Toe Morning Show, so like I'm used to doing radio. So this just made the most logical sense, you know?
Yeah.
And then I was pissed. I was pissed when you found me and you were contacting me. And then I watched a couple of yours and I'm like, this motherfucker's doing what I thought I was going to do, but way better. I hate this.
Oh, man.
Got that Rona, baby.
I didn't think anyone was doing this shit. I didn't think anyone.
I didn't either. I didn't either till I saw you, and then I was just pissed. I was like, and this bitch ass can afford a green screen? I am out.
See, the one thing I tried to really switch it up though, I tried to talk to random people. I don't know anybody I talk to. You know, I tried to do a kamikaze cast.
Dude, Wrinkly Balls on your mom says she's a Michigunt.
Michigan. Oh, she is. She is. But I tried to do like a kamikaze cast to start it off, and I would just jump in someone's channel while they're doing their thing, wait till they had like a slow moment, and be like, "Hey, let's talk." And only a couple of people took me up on it. You were one of them. You weren't afraid.
No, why would people be afraid of that? I don't understand. We're all sitting here in our basements crying for attention, right?
I'm literally in my basement.
I'm literally not, but the analogy holds. I'm in my living room because I'm poor.
Yeah,
my backdrop is literally a Gadsden flag. That's what it is. Like this is real.
Well,
this is not movie magic. Contrary to what you might believe by this fucking empty bottles, the fucking alpaca, and the libertarian flag, this is not a green screen. This is a real setup.
Is that a Buffalo Trace back there?
A what?
Buffalo Trace looks like is that whiskey? Maybe is it a private stock to the right? I'm trying to see your a little bit blurry, but I'm trying to see your liquor.
Oh, all right. Here, I'll give you the liquor, right? So we got Yukon Jack. Are you familiar with Yukon Jack?
Yeah, I seen Frosty the Snowman.
Yukon Jack is 100 proof honey liqueur out of Canada. It tastes like rubbing alcohol, but for 2 shots in, you can't taste it, and it's rad.
Oh, okay.
And then we have some schnapps that I picked up when I recorded my new album in Iceland.
Oh, awesome.
And then that one should be coming out soon. That one's called Jokes on Ice. Plug. We have Proper 12 whiskey, because I'm a McGregor guy.
Proper 12.
And then we got Beluga vodka, which is one of the cheaper vodkas if you can find it, but it's straight out of Russia, and it will drink on par with your Tito's, your Kettle One, your Grey Goose. Again, just a Russian cheap vodka that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got the big thing here is we got the Double Black, which is the Johnny Walker. That's my probably go-to. That's probably what I drink the most of when it comes to hard liquor.
That's far right? It's Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker is
far right
here.
to the. Yeah.
Yep.
There we go.
And then that's my family picture with my cats.
All right.
And then that is all scotch. And then behind it, here, I'll show you what. You know what? This is for your channel, man. This is a special event. My channel has been watching me for 36 episodes. They haven't seen this. Hold on.
Honored, bro. Uh-oh, it's in a box.
Now everybody knows my fucking hiding spot. That's what just happened.
Yeah.
Everybody knows my hiding spot now.
You gotta install the safe now.
So right here, right? This, I don't know if I can make it see. It's Middleton. Can't really read it. There we go.
Oh, I can read it right now. Yeah, perfect.
This is a limited batch, high-end Irish whiskey that's actually made in limited casks by Jameson. So this is like Jameson's high-end shit. And they release only like 300 or 400 of them a year. And they come with like paperwork and everything. I mean, this is like, you've never drank anything like this. It's fucking crazy. Of course, now I can't get it out. I'm trying to get drunk. Get out of there. There we go. Oh, shit. Ah!
I like the box, man.
Oh, the box. Yeah, the packaging is fucking rad. And it's not cheap.
Is it a liter? Is it a liter or a fifth?
It is 7.5.
Wow.
All right. And then, there we go. And this right here, there you go. That is, let's see, there we go, Middleton.
Oh, yeah.
And this thing, what's so cool about this is, like I said, it's a limited thing. They come out with a very limited number every year. And then it comes with, this is my favorite, some paperwork and a little piece of the cask, right? You can kind of, you can't read it probably. But it's signed and numbered by the person at Jameson that went through and certified it to be actual Middleton.
What? The actual person?
The actual person, an actual signature, not Xeroxed or anything.
Yeah.
And it's like a Jameson. It's like Brian Jameson or whoever. But yeah, the box is fucking rad. And they upped this. So I have mixed feelings about the packaging, right? Because the packaging is cool and it's awesome. But they upped the price like $40 when they came out with this dope ass package. And it's like, I don't give a shit. Like, the bottles used to be, actually here, you know what? I have the old ones too. We're going to go liquor history now. That's what's happening now.
You got the old ones too?
Yeah.
We got a versus happening.
So, this is what the old one looks like. And you'll
Oh,
notice,
it's
like,
way improved.
It's way smaller.
Double the size, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
And then, well, the bottles are actually a little bit similar. This one's just like, and on these ones, they were actually signed on the bottle. So, like, if you look let's see here. Right here, you can see the signature.
Oh, okay. Is it the guy's name too? Like the dude that
this one, Brian, whatever, Watson or something like that.
Oh, that's cool. If you looked them up on Facebook,
Like,
make
how
sure
much
they
they're
weren't.
worth or what?
No, Brian Watson.
Oh no, I have not.
Look up. I'm kind of curious now. I'm kind of curious.
An invitation, like fucking that's an invitation. Oh shit! If you
So
bring
eyes
that,
wide shut party, huh?
Yeah, well, so what's cool about this, right? And this is, they don't have these in the new ones. Oh, here it is. This is what they used to have. They used to have these certificates that would come with them.
Oh, yeah.
And they would certify that it's it, right? But then they'd also have this. And if you can read on the bottom, it says... Yeah, this camera sucks. I wish my other camera was working. Whatever. It says invitation on it. And what it is if you bring that back to the brewery with the certificate, they give you a bottle of Jameson.
Oh, shit.
Because the
That's
higher
pretty
end
cool.
stuff is so expensive.
Oh yeah. Any kind of whiskey you're buying with a wood box like that, it's definitely gonna be. You're definitely kicking in the extra loot.
Hell yeah. And yeah, you can even see like the difference in the bottle shape. So like, see the shape of that bottle?
Yeah.
That's the old one. And then the new bottle is like that.
It's called Middleton. It's made by Jameson.
Yeah, it's made by Jameson. It's like if you go to Ireland and you say Middleton, they'll give you a little wink because you're in the know. I mean, it's.
Yeah. What is it? The maiden name?
I don't know what the actual like lineage of why they call that or where the name came from.
Yeah.
I just know that it's just called that, I guess. And what's really interesting with these ones is they have the weird divot on the back. So when you put them in the case, they always go to dead center.
Mm. You're talking to the right guy, man. I love me some whiskey.
Yeah, I'm a whiskey and scotch guy myself. Like, I really like Redbreast. That's what I drink stateside a lot.
Yeah. Have you ever tried Screwball?
Yeah, Screwball.
I had Yeah, Screwball is delicious. My first guest, man. Shout out to Alpha Rooster. Delicious, man. He put me onto that peanut butter whiskey.
So one of my buddies is Thomas Ian Scott.
Mm-hmm.
And Thomas Ian Nichols. And he is the guy that was in like MVP and stuff. And he actually is the founding member of Screwball. Like, he's the one that paid the money for them to develop it.
What is MVP? Is that the monkey movie?
MVP is like the movie with like, it's like Rookie of the Year.
I thought MVP was the one with the monkey was a picture.
Yeah, maybe it's
something.
Rookie of the Year. It's the baseball movie. Might be Rookie of the Year. I forget.
Yeah,
He's my friend. I don't give a shit what movies he's in.
Yeah. He's your friend. You didn't say you loved him.
Yeah, right?
Dude, this is what I'm pumped about to talk to you about right now.
Yeah. Hold on.
So you got Gaethje then.
Yeah.
What do you think Tony hasn't lost a fight in so long in the UFC. He has the longest streak right now, I think. And everyone that's fought him looks like, if you ever seen the movie Stand By Me, everyone that fought Tony Ferguson looks like fucking Ray Brower. Afterwards.
Okay, first off, that's hilarious. Second off, you're not wrong. Third off, give me a sec. I'm putting away the Middleton.
Yeah. I think... go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think Gaethje is a little too sloppy for a guy like Ferguson. But Ferguson's dumb enough to not care and just go crazy. But he also has fought better strikers than Gaethje.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Here's my real thing, right? Tony's resume doesn't really impress me that much. And people act like I'm crazy, but so what? You beat Pettis and you couldn't even finish him at the tail end of his career? You didn't actually end Cerrone. Cerrone's dipshit ass blew his own nose.
Yeah, but he was done.
Oh, and here's the thing. I do believe that. But my point is, I think if you look at Ferguson's record, he's one of those people where, and you can bring it up fight by fight, but a lot of the big names he had were on the tail end of their careers, and the people that he beat that were people will remember them as middle of the road people. He's not fought in, he's never beat Khabib. He's never beat McGregor. He's never beat Poirier.
He's beat better people than Khabib's beat, I think.
I don't, you know what? Hold on. I I don't know. I'm not gonna call bullshit to that, but I'm gonna look at it real quick because I'm gonna go to Tapology.
Yeah.
Just
go to the Wikipedia.
No, wait, Tapology, dude. You don't know Tapology? Come on.
I don't mess with it. I just go right to Wikipedia.
Oh, dude, no lie. Go to Tapology from now on. Tapology is the best for MMA, and then Boxing Rec is the best for boxing.
You literally type in anyone on Google and just do a Wikipedia, and they'll throw the whole list of
right. But the thing on Tapology is like they'll have the promotion, they'll have the rounds, the clickable links that you can go to on a side is crazy. All right, so I've got him right here, right?
Yeah, Khabib. But let's just say this first, though. Khabib fought so many bums in Russia.
Yeah,
like,
well, we don't even know. But here's the thing. Okay, so check this out. We'll go all the way back. You have to go all the way back to like, let's see here. Let's do.
McGregor doesn't impress me either, by the way.
Yeah, that's I disagree with that, but I understand it.
Yeah, I
all right, so let's go 2015. This is Ferguson, okay? Yeah. You beat the fucking ghost of Gleason Tebow. Who gives a fuck?
Who almost beat Khabib,
right? But didn't
after that.
But he was fucking. But he was ancient.
But he should have won.
Yeah, maybe
he should have beat Khabib, but they gave it to Khabib.
But Gleason Tebow, like at that point, was not Gleason Tebow. I don't think.
Good enough to beat Khabib, though. I think. But
yeah, maybe. I don't know. You have Josh Thompson.
Killer. He knocked out Nate Diaz after Tony Ferguson beat his ass. Pretty sure. He knocked Nate Diaz out with a spinning head kick.
Okay, well, my point is I don't know who he is. That was all.
Josh Thompson, legend, dude.
Okay, yeah, I don't know who that is. I'll have to look.
UFC.
Okay. Yeah. Then you have Edson Barbosa's a good win. I'm not going to take that away from him. That was a good win. That was a Darce choke. That was solid.
They both got a dub off of him.
Yep. Barbosa. And then Landon Vatna, who cares? Yeah, Rafael Dos Santos didn't really show up that fight, which he's been known to do. And all he was doing was running away and trying to survive, right? And we're into 2016, dude. You got Rafael Dos Santos. You got Kevin Lee, who's a never will be. You have Tony. What? You have Anthony Pettis, who I honestly believe is very overrated. We just like the way that he fights, but like he broke his hand in that fight.
Yeah, and also I think that the one thing is though, a lot of people when you fight Pettis, normally you don't beat Pettis if you just stand with him. That's usually your death.
I agree with that.
You take him down and Clay Guida him.
And then you have Cerrone, who I think we can all say is on the tail end now.
Yeah.
Right, so that's all the way back already. That's all the way back to 2015. Now, if you go on Gaethje's side, right? Gaethje's last fights were Cerrone, so there's a push, right? The Barbosa, but he finished Barbosa round 1 with a fucking knockout hook.
Yeah.
He also highlighted James Vick, but more importantly with Gaethje, and this is the thing people forget.
Yeah. Who's James Vick, though?
Right, oh, fair. He lost to Poirier. He lost to Eddie Alvarez. Beyond that, he's never lost. He's never lost beyond those two people.
Well, let me say this is the reason why I think Ferguson wins 10 out of 10 times against Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje, who has the potential to knock Tony Ferguson out completely. Like, that's no lie. That's no joke.
No, I believe that. I mean, I like. I'm not saying I'm going for Gaethje, but I'm not saying like if Ferguson wins, I'll be shocked. Of course not.
Yeah, I got Ferguson all day, whether it's a decision or not. I got Ferguson. I think he'll finish him before 3 rounds though. Maybe the 4th. But the problem is with Gaethje is he's a little bit sloppy. He throws crazy. He's not afraid to be in the pocket. That's one thing that he could knock out Tony because Tony's not afraid. He's not afraid to be in the pocket either. Yep. And he'll take a hit to throw it. You know, he'll take a hit to land a hit.
Yeah, I believe in that. And I like my whole thing is that like. I think the way that I see it going down, right? I'm picking Gaethje, and I think it's going to be a round 1 knockout. And what I think is going to happen is I think they're going to meet in the middle of the ring. They're going to fucking trade. Because here's the thing. Justin is a wrestling phenom. Ferguson is real good at the jiu-jitsu, but I think it's a matter of pride where those two will stand and bang. I don't see them going to the ground. So what I see happening is I see them meeting in the center, throwing punches and just whatever, and then Ferguson hitting Justin with an elbow, Gaethje getting stunned, and Ferguson, like everybody else, thinks it's just over, so they put on the gas, and then you just get hit with the hook. I mean, this is what Gaethje does. He looks like Gaethje looks like he's out on his feet. Like Justin Gaethje is the only person I've seen who has consistently knocked people out while he is stunned out of his mind.
Yeah, it's almost like Chris Lieben, but
it's like if Chris Lieben didn't suck. That's what Justin Gaethje is.
And Chris Lieben had his time. But,
kind of. I mean, I don't know. The highlight that I always laugh at is the fucking knee from Silva that started Silva's career, but whatever.
Yeah, but he is Anderson Silva though. I think the thing is, I mean, he's not anymore. And he's also.
I don't know, man. That Stylebender fight was dope.
Yeah, I think Stylebender's a little overrated also. I think he's got great
I think so
striking, but
too.
he's a
I mean,
little
I was surprised when he beat Whitaker, to be honest.
Yeah,
But Whitaker didn't show up.
Yeah, Whitaker was just throwing crazy shit too. He was
my
just throwing.
my big guy is fucking Canyoneer though. That's the guy that I think is just the next dude. That guy's fucking brutal.
Yeah.
And Jared Canyoneer, like people don't talk about this enough, but he beat Hermanson in his home and he beat Anderson Silva in Brazil. Like that's fucking nuts.
Well, you talk about someone at the end of their career. Anderson Silva has lost all confidence. After he broke his leg, he has no confidence.
I mean, I agree with that, but also he never really gave 100% in the ring. So like, who knows if maybe he can focus. I mean, that's the thing about Silva that's crazy is like, we all talk about him as if he's one of the GOATs because he is, but you also have to acknowledge that dude was never trying all the time ever.
Dude, I've watched MMA for a long time, dude. And the feeling when that DMX song came on, No Sunshine, when that would hit, when Anderson Silva came out, like I would get like butterflies.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, I mean he's
like, oh, shit,
so. I mean, I've been watching MMA my whole life, and Silva was one of those
scary.
guys where it's just like, God, this guy's so much fun to watch. My favorite was always Fedor, though. Like, I don't know that I ever saw anybody that was better than Fedor. Like Fedor in his prime would kill anyone. I believe it.
Yeah, Fedor was the man, but once he left Japan, he kind of got handled by everybody.
Yeah, that's
every
true.
American just destroyed him.
But I mean, it's after he retired and came back 10 years. I mean, like, prior to that, the only person that really destroyed him was fucking Henderson and fucking Fabricio, which is no shame in either of those.
Well,
maybe some shame in Fabricio Verdum, I guess.
Bigfoot completely destroyed him. Also, Bigfoot made.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that fight. Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
Looking like Cowboy.
All right. Checks out. You're also an MMA geek.
Yeah, I'm pretty geeky when it comes to MMA.
I love MMA.
Yeah, dude, I'm all in. That's why it was easy. I knew it was gonna be easy to talk to you because I'm really into comedy and I'm really into MMA, and apparently, so are you.
Yeah, oh yeah,
So.
my favorite, my two favorite things, man. And I cannot tell you how excited I am for Blood Crusade. It's so funny because on my podcast, I was bitching to my co-host about 3 months ago about how I was so sick of all these fucking MMA fights all the time because you can't keep up on it. It's like, because I'm not just a UFC guy. I like Bellator. I like LFA.
Yeah, me too.
I don't give a fuck about one, but like I'll watch the highlights if like Mighty Mouse is fighting or something. But like I was bitching at how oversaturated it is, and now it's like I don't know what to do with myself because like we got to a point where you were getting a UFC fight a weekend.
Yeah.
And now it's like what's so cool about this is that this is like all the headliners. And I don't know if you've noticed this too, but like, doesn't it feel like Henry Cejudo and Dominic Cruz is flying way under the radar? I feel like nobody's talking about that fight at all.
It really is. I think Triple C is going to knock him out. Everyone's talking about how Triple C isn't marketable.
No, I think Triple C is great. I don't like the thing about Cruz though is like those people that are trying to wrestle fuck him, they can't get a hold of him. And Cruz will literally sit on his bike going backwards for an entire match. Like I see a 5-round split decision for Cruz. That's what I think's going to happen.
Well, Triple C is not. He hasn't been wrestling lately. This is what happens with fighters too. They fall in love with the knockout, and then they abandon what got him there. I mean, Triple C is the fucking Olympian. He's an Olympian, a gold medalist.
Oh, it's like Jacare Souza. It's like fucking do some jujitsu, you prick. Stop striking. Also, he just tested positive for coronavirus and pulled out. Breaking news.
Seriously?
Yeah, it just happened.
Oh, shit. Because he was just about to fight Uriah Hall, right?
Yep, he was fighting Uriah Hall, but yeah, he's pulling out because he tested positive for coronavirus.
Verdum's fighting tomorrow, too.
Yeah. I love me some Verdum, but I kind of hate the guy, too. And like, so what I want to see is Olenek get that fucking Ezekiel choke on him. I would laugh so hard at that.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I don't know, man. Olenek is one of my favorites to watch because, like, that's another, like, same thing with Gaethje. It's like right when you think you have him cracked, he just grabs you and falls backwards, and then you're tapping out. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And he's the only person in UFC history to get an Ezekiel choke, and he has like 5 of them.
I know. They basically should rename it his name.
Oh yeah, no, it should totally be called an Olenek choke. It should be. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. It's like they should call the Twister the Korean Zombie. I suppose you can't fuck over Johnny Bravo like that, but whatever.
But dude,
or Eddie Bravo, Johnny Bravo.
Eddie Bravo, same guy.
Different hair,
Yeah.
same guy.
But I don't. Verdum, when it comes to Verdum, man, you might want to try to knock him out. I think you don't want to go near the ground with Verdum. He's probably the greatest heavyweight.
I mean, but
jiu-jitsu
here's the thing
artist
about
of all
Olenek
time.
that people forget because he's old. I mean, this is the guy that Fedor said was one of the best practitioners of Sambo that ever lived. I mean,
Yeah,
this,
but
like,
Sambo isn't shit when it comes to like.
I don't know, man. I feel like Sambo, I feel like when it comes to the ground game, you're looking at, you have your three things, and it rotates between which one's on top. And I feel like right now, Sambo is on top. I mean, nobody's been able to solve Khabib. That's all Sambo.
I feel like it's a mix between wrestling too.
Oh,
Like,
American wrestling.
guys like-
American wrestling is probably on top, actually. Yeah, because you're looking at
That's
like
on top of
Stipe as a wrestler. I think Jones was a wrestler for sure. I think Adesanya was also a wrestler, but I don't know that for sure. Kamaru Usman is a wrestler. You're absolutely right. Wrestler.
Usman for sure.
No, but
Yeah,
I'm saying with Stylebender, the ground game that he picked up to add, I'm pretty sure it was wrestling and not jiu-jitsu.
I don't know. Stylebender, that's another thing. I think he has great takedown defense, and a lot of like strikers will learn wrestling just for the takedown defense. Like a guy like Chuck Liddell, people don't know that Chuck Liddell had some of the greatest wrestling.
Well, Chuck Liddell
around.
was an all-American wrestler.
Yeah, but like what he used his wrestling for was for
Sprawling.
anti-wrestling.
Yeah, all that guy did was sprawl, stand and bang, dude.
Yeah.
Stand and bang. Fuck you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Dude, I could talk MMA with you all fucking day, by the way.
Oh, dude, me too. I love MMA, man. And like, here's the other thing too: is you're giving me an outlet because a lot of the times I can't talk it because we're not allowed to do our podcast in my studio right now.
Yeah. I know my girlfriend's like, oh, MMA, huh? You gonna tell me more about that?
Nope.
She's like, oh, he's a knockout artist. Leave me alone. Yeah, she's not very into it. Who do you got in that? Who do you got in that? Dominic Cruz and Triple C fight.
I'm gonna take Cruz. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Cruz, and I think it's so. Here's the thing: if it's a stoppage at all, Triple C wins, but I see it being a 5-round grind-out decision where Dominic Cruz is backpedaling on his bike the whole fight, but winning on points because he can pap you as he walks backwards. He's not going to stand a trade. Like, that's why Cruz lost to Cody Garbrandt. It had nothing to do with anything. It's the fact that Cody pissed him off, and so he wanted to make a point to stand and bang with him, and then he got lit up. And I don't think that's going to be the case with Henry because he likes him, so he will execute his game plan. People forget that Dominic Cruz is in GOAT contention, and I think you could make the argument whoever wins this fight is the GOAT.
But bantamweight, for sure. But he also hasn't fought in 3 years or something.
Right, but the last time he didn't fight in years, he beat Dillashaw.
Yeah, did he beat Dillashaw and then he took
and then
the
lost to
title
Cody?
from
But
Dillashaw,
I mean, he
beat
beat Dillashaw off of fucking.
Yeah,
it was
that's
like a
true.
6-year break or some shit like that. Maybe
Yeah,
not
that's
that
true.
long. It was like
Arguably
4
lost though. It's pretty close. It was pretty damn close. I
Dude,
think Dillashaw
Dominic
won that
Cruz
fight.
is the one that keeps saying ring rust doesn't exist. I just want to believe him. That's
Yeah.
all. I want miracles to happen. And here's the cool thing. How different is the bantamweight right now where we're looking at this fight and we're saying whoever wins is good for the division? That never happens at that division.
No. Triple C is actually, I feel like he made the division because even though Dominic Cruz is great, but no one even cared when he was champion.
Nobody gave a shit. I mean, I this won't be popular, but I've always kind of hated Mighty Mouse because of how he went down to a lower division and ducked Dominic Cruz after Dominic beat him. I just don't feel like that's what champions do. And the thing about Dominic Cruz is Dominic Cruz was one of the most dominant champions because people always fucking talk about Renan Barão, but Barão never beat Cruz. Cruz was injured the whole time Barão had that belt.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Renan Barão was the fucking Loch Ness monster for a second. He was just destroying everyone.
Well, but he
undefeated
was
for,
classic
how
Brazil.
long, too?
Him and Aldo are the same guy. They were GOATs until they changed the drug testing. Then both of them fell off. That's not a coincidence.
I know. And same with JDS. Same with a lot of fighters, man.
Also, can we talk about how big of hypocrites every MMA fan is? Do you remember how people were calling for heads when Aldo was announced? They're like, he's too old. He doesn't deserve this title shot. And now Cruz gets announced, and all of us are like, woo! It's because we like Cruz better. He's a good guy. We like Cruz.
Coming off, they both would have been coming off a loss.
Yeah. Well, they both haven't. You could make the argument that both of them do not deserve a title shot.
Yeah.
Easier to make the argument with Aldo for sure, but you could make the argument that with Cruz, you need a tune-up fight. But Cruz isn't going to fight a tune-up fight. He's making too much commentary money.
Well, at least Aldo has been more active. Even though he's coming off a loss, he's been way more active.
Yeah.
But is he coming off of 2 losses though? I think he lost to Australian dude.
Dos.
What's his name? The featherweight champion.
Yeah,
And
right.
then he lost to
What's his name?
Morales. I know. Volkov.
Yeah.
Volkov?
Volkanovski.
Volkanovski. Pretty fucking close. The guy's a beast, though. He actually weighed 250
That
pounds.
dude,
at one
that
point. Now he
Holloway
fights
fight
at
is one of the best
145.
fights I've ever seen in my life. Like, I'm not a big fan of Run It Back, but I want to run it back just as a fan.
Holloway is in trouble because his best shot is at featherweight. He's like one of those guys that could really use a 150 division. 155 is too much. People don't understand it. Like, what's 5 pounds? But it means so much. 5 pounds means everything.
And that's the thing is, who was it? Somebody on the card missed weight by like 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's like a whole weight class, man. Like, that's crazy.
Well, there needs to be a 165 also. 145,
Yeah, that could be, I guess.
165,
Yeah.
175.
I mean, I don't know. Like, the problem with being a 165 is like, okay, so you just want Khabib to park on 2 belts? That's what you want? Because that's what would happen.
Yeah. Well, I know Khabib doesn't want to go to 170, I think.
No,
even
but
though
you go 165. Khabib goes up to that for sure, and nobody beats him at that. So now you've got a guy who does because I like Khabib. He's very good, but you could make the criticism that he's not very active. He fights 1 or 2 fights a year, if that.
Misses weight a lot.
Right, he misses weight a lot. He's not that active. Like, that's not a guy that you want to be your champion, let alone a champion of 2 weight classes. And I would not be surprised if once something happens where Khabib retires or he loses or something like that, 165 does come in. But right now, you don't want Khabib sitting on 2 belts. You just don't want that as a promoter.
See, I'm not one of those guys that hate greatness. The guy's like, I mean, good luck. Who's going to beat Khabib? Good luck.
Gaethje is going to beat Khabib.
I don't think he will because I think that his striking's so sloppy he's going to get taken down.
No, the thing about Khabib, Michael Johnson proved it, and Al Iaquinta proved it. All you have to do with Khabib, not all, obviously he's really good, but if you get the man walking backwards, he becomes mortal. If he's going forward, like he's invincible. You will never beat Khabib if he's able to go forward and wear on you. The only way you can beat him is to make him look human and back him down. That's why the Ferguson match is so fascinating for everybody.
Well, the reason why the Ferguson match is fascinating to me is because I think the key to beating Khabib is he gets tired really quick.
Yeah,
not really quick, but give him if you survive 3 rounds of Khabib and you still got energy left, you could beat Khabib.
I just don't think even Ferguson can have energy left with Khabib on top of you for 3 rounds. Because Khabib's also really good. If you watch the way that Khabib does his ground game, he's very good at compressing people up against the cage. So even when you're in typical positions where you could rest, you're not getting much rest. And meanwhile, Khabib is on top of you resting. And it's the whole weird zeitgeist of it. It's why he doesn't do it at the center of the ring. At the center of the ring, you could absolutely, if you're Ferguson, you could absolutely last at the center of the ring on the bottom, but crushed up against it, I don't know if you could.
But what's the best wrestler Khabib's fought? Michael Johnson? Is it the best wrestler? I think that's the best wrestler Khabib's fought.
Maybe, yeah.
He hasn't fought a strong... I think Kevin Lee would have gave Khabib a lot of problems, a lot of fucking problems. But he's a head
I don't know,
case.
man. I thought Michael
together,
Johnson would have given him more problems.
Michael Johnson is not... He's not elite to me.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think Kevin Lee is elite either.
I think Kevin Lee is a head case. I think he has all the skills to be elite. I just think he's a little bit of a head case. I love the guy. He's from Detroit. He's like one of our only fighters. But I mean, you guys got Anthony.
Well, his brother fights too. We don't have Anthony
Pettis.
Pettis. That's fucking Wisconsin. Get fucked, dude.
Oh yeah. Fuck you guys. You got no one.
We have Brock Lesnar. That's our guy.
Fucking Scandinavian sons of bitches.
Whatever, dude. He was the heavyweight champion, and now he's the most profitable star in WWE. Suck it.
Dude, I'm not one of those guys that diss Brock Lesnar, by the way.
Brock Lesnar.
I got butterflies when I seen him fight every time.
I was just fucking, dude, it's like you're reading my mail. I was just fucking talking about this to my homie. What's so funny is how everybody disrespects Brock Lesnar, and like we're all gonna be sorry when he's just done. And like if you go back and watch his fights, he's fucking rad.
Dude, his second fight ever was against Frank Mir. His second fight ever.
That Randy Couture fight, where like that was just attrition, man.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's in another, like, this motherfucker is cutting weight to make 265. Just think about that.
Yeah. He's also cutting his arm, putting steroids in it. But,
well, yeah, duh. That's why he's wrestling. They don't drug test there. Fun thing about wrestling, when they add sports entertainment, you don't need an athletic commission.
Well, when Brock Lesnar was champion in the UFC, everyone else was on steroids in the fucking FC too.
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden they put him over to testosterone therapy replacement, and it was basically everyone was just doing roids. They're like, oh, TRT. I mean, look at guys like Vitor. Look at former champions. Look at JDS, how amazing he was, and all of a sudden he was a nobody.
I'm telling you, right?
Maybe
And
the Kane fight
and
took a
that's
little
why
something out of him,
people like the Diaz's stand out so much. Like there's no when Nate tested positive against Masvidal, and then he's like calling him out. I'm like, there's no fucking way. Look at everybody else's body. Like that's not a steroid body. That's just not.
Look at Nate Diaz's body before that fight, though. He was ripped as fuck.
He's always
I've never
ripped
seen him
as
that
fuck.
ripped. Now, usually he's a little beanpole. That's why when he went to welterweight, everyone ever besides
but like
Conor
I don't
McGregor
think that's
threw him
fair.
around
I
like
think
a
he's a little
bitch.
beanpole when he doesn't have a training camp. He's a beanpole against McGregor for sure.
I think McGregor's the only welterweight he could beat. I guess he technically beat Anthony Pettis at welterweight.
The way you disrespect Conor is sad to me, man.
I respect Conor, but I know that MMA is about matchups. There's a lot of matchups that Conor doesn't deserve to even go near. But there's fights he can
I don't
win.
think you can say that the most profitable superstar in a fucking sport doesn't deserve any match on the table.
Dude, it's like this. It's like music. You think the Backstreet Boys are the fucking greatest band ever because they
No,
sell
but do you
more
think
than
do you
your
think
favorite
they
band does?
do you think they
You know what I
sell
mean?
out all the good venues so they get to fucking
Yes.
play there? Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean they're good. You know what I mean?
Well, but
Whoever
in
sells the
McGregor
most
in
records
McGregor's
doesn't
case,
mean
he
he's
is good.
Yeah, but McGregor's not the greatest though.
He might be. If McGregor legit beats Khabib in a rematch, you will not be able to say he's not the GOAT. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. No matter, I disagree with that 100%, but that's fine. Conor McGregor had a staph infection and a broken foot that first fight. He didn't want to be there. He was also a head case off the Mayweather thing. Like, if the best Conor McGregor doesn't show up, he loses every time. But the best Conor McGregor has a chance. I mean, Khabib's still the heavy favorite. I don't think he is anymore. I think he was lazy, but I think losing to fucking Khabib woke him up. I mean, you can't say that a guy's lazy. That how many times has that dude lost? Like it's
how many times that dude fought at welterweight? He has no business fighting at welterweight.
Yeah,
you know
but
I mean?
okay, but check it out. He fought when he fought at welterweight, it's because Nate couldn't make weight and he came in super under originally. The second fight, you can't demand a rematch and go down or you're not a man. That was a fucking gut check. He's not supposed to be in that division. Now coming back off a huge layover, he didn't want to cut weight. Cowboy didn't want to cut weight, and they knew they could sell tickets. That doesn't mean that he doesn't deserve to be there. I mean,
he's not even that big at lightweight either.
Right, but
you know?
But the thing is that lightweight is what he'll be judged at. I mean, this motherfucker is fighting, and I would say that welterweight is almost a better path to the belt than fucking 55 is right now. 55 is stacked.
Now he's finally got 2 wins at lightweight. That's it. Cowboy and Eddie Alvarez.
Cowboy wasn't lightweight. Cowboy was 170.
Was Cowboy 170?
Yeah, they didn't want to cut weight. That's why he fought there.
Oh, that's gross.
That's what Khabib was bitching about. He's like, you don't get to beat a guy up a weight class and then say you're the thing, which is totally valid. Khabib's right on that.
Yeah. I would like to see Conor fight Gaethje or
well, I think that's what's next. I think no matter what happens, he's fighting Ferguson or Gaethje next.
Gaethje's too dumb. Gaethje will just run it. Gaethje has the wrestling to destroy Conor.
Right.
He's so dumb.
And that's what the UFC wants, is that the UFC. So Gaethje will run forward in a way that could. So just hear me out on like the pattern, right? Like not saying it'll happen or anything like that. But Gaethje runs out into the center of the ring against Ferguson. They start throwing fucking punches. Ferguson cracks him. He gets overzealous, and Gaethje knocks him out. Now, that's totally how Gaethje wins if he wins. If it's a 5-round fight, Tony's winning that for sure. And I'd say if it goes out of the second round, it's Tony's fight for sure. Gaethje has 2 rounds to fucking end it or he's going to lose. But then at that point, if Gaethje's the belt holder, you can feed him to McGregor. And now when Khabib McGregor 2 happens, they're both wearing belts, which is what the UFC creams on themselves about.
Yeah. So this is what we should do, man. I don't think either one of us are sub to each other's channels. I think we do a bet right now, tomorrow, the fight. If Ferguson wins, you sub to my channel.
Okay.
If Gaethje wins, I sub to your channel.
Totally into that. Let's do it. I'll even shake on camera.
All right.
Feels like I'm just grabbing a dick. Wow, check out the hog on JB. Holy fuck, look at this hog.
Dude, me and my hog have to get out of here, dude. But I could talk to you all night about MMA, dude.
Nah, man, you're the best.
Sure.
Thank you so much for having me. Everybody on my stream, because we're dual streaming this, go over to JB's feed and fucking sub to him. I guess I'll have to sub if I lose, but I look forward to getting your sub. The human highlight, baby. Woo!
We're about to have one. It's gonna be Tony Ferguson,
All
intern,
right.
2-time intern champion, baby, 2-time.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, dude, I appreciate it, man. I love the MMA talk too.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I love that
MMA,
you're not
comedy, I
soft
love it
about
all,
You
man.
Go hard on it. Oh yeah, for sure, man. We're definitely gonna do this again.
Awesome.
Dude, long live Corey Adams Comedy. If you're not following this guy, follow
Adam,
this guy.
there's no S. I'm fat, but I'm not plural fat.
Corey
CREYADAM Comedy. Go to Venmo and donate to Corey Adam Comedy. Go to PayPal and donate to CoreyAdamComedy at Gmail. I don't want to brag, but I'm an out-of-work stand-up comic, so all your donations help me a lot because I have no profession. The only thing I ever did before dick jokes was wait tables. Spoiler alert, not allowed to do that either. Woody fucking who. I look forward to your sub, sir. Gaethje forever.
Tony Ferguson for life.
All right, buddy. I love it. And here's the thing. I don't even hate Tony Ferguson. I love it though. Thank you so much, man. Have a great night.
All right. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Boom. All right. Well, that was some kind of weird fucking interview within an interview. How fucking meta Inception was that shit, right? All right, here we go. We're going to Incept. Ah, shit. Where do we go from here? Who knows? We're all good. We hit all the bases. Tom said he was going to bed. So I feel like that's the perfect time to call him.
Yo, dude.
Yeah, what up?
Not much, man.
I saw you said you were going to bed, so I thought I'd call and wake you up.
Yeah. I literally
Also,
just got into
Missed Willie's Ryan wants to know, is Tom's bedtime crack time?
No, I got to dip into work for at least maybe an hour or so tomorrow. So
On a fucking Saturday? Show some respect. Tell him to get fucked.
yeah, it's just something that needs to get done tomorrow. Like I said, it won't take very long or whatever, but still gotta wake up and make sure I'm there by 7 or so.
What'd you think of that crazy Inception interview within a show shit?
Dude, I like JB.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah, if you go to JB Live TV, that dude, he interviews. So what this guy does, right? It's the funniest thing ever. He goes onto Twitch, right? And he just finds people that are Twitch streaming, and he just basically talks to them till they come on his show.
That's a smart decision.
And a lot of them are too scared to do it, I guess.
Well, I suppose it also depends on if it's the same time as them doing their show.
Right, like this. I mean, I don't even think it's that. I think they're just cowards. All right, man. I'm gonna let you go to bed. Tell people where to find you.
Dude, you can't fucking call me back just to tell. Never mind.
Why? What do you want to talk about, Boo? I'm here. What's up, buddy? You okay? You need a hug? What's happening?
No, man. It's all good.
Can we talk about how little sound effects were used in this episode tonight?
Oh shit! Yeah, a little bit. No, man. It was just it's cool. Honestly, there's a lot of MMA talk, but I know again you mentioned it. Your Blood Christmas is tomorrow.
It's fucking Blood Christmas tomorrow. This was always gonna be MMA all the time.
Right.
And tomorrow, I don't even know. Like I might not do a show tomorrow. That might happen.
Oh, I suppose that would make sense.
What I'm thinking about doing, though, is just putting it on, like getting it on my iPad and then just having it watching over there, like on the other side while I'm doing it.
Yeah, you're going to be able to pay attention. That's going to work.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll do something earlier that day, or maybe I'll do it after. I don't know, but I just like, there's no way I'm not watching UFC, right?
Yeah, no, I know you're going to be watching it.
Fucking gots to, dude. It's Blood Christmas, dog.
Yeah. Yeah, what the fuck else? Oh, by the way, also thanks for reminding Chris that I'm a libertarian.
Oh, yeah. Wait, did he contact you?
Yeah, he called me tonight.
Pretty funny. I told him, he was like, do you know any libertarian comics? And I said, yeah, Tom. And then he said, well, do you know any funny ones? That's verbatim what he said.
God damn it. I should have known that was going to be the next fucking thing. Fucking A.
Oh, shit. No, that's what he said, though. Like, I'm not even making that up, Tom. That's what he said.
I know, but even if he did, I'm still just setting up perfectly shit like that, so.
What a dork.
You son of a bitch.
Well, I'm just saying.
That's
man.
awesome.
Just kind of
No,
funny, right?
It's great, man. It's great.
All right,
But,
goodbye. Go to bed, bitch.
Yeah, man. By the way, everybody, it's at Tom Chilstrom on Twitter and Instagram or Facebook.com /Tom.Chilstrom.
Also, go to Venmo and donate to Corey Adam Comedy.
At Corey Adam Comedy. Make sure you put that. Otherwise, it just goes into a cycle and you never fucking see it.
Yeah, that's true. All right, buddy. Have a good night.
All right. Bye.
Goodbye. That is Tom. All right, I think that's gonna just about do it. We didn't get to Tovar tonight. Let's call Tovar, see what he's up to. Just just give a little feeler out there.
Hello.
What up, dog?
What up, dog? Indeed.
What's that happening?
Cool co-stream you had tonight, man.
What?
Cool co-stream you had tonight.
Yeah, it's weird, right? It's like some Inception level bullshit.
Yeah. Inception indeed, man. It pulled off pretty well. Hang on, let me adjust my volume.
Yeah, whatever.
And push pause so I can actually talk to you. All right, you have my full attention.
Boo.
All right, goodbye.
What's up, dog? Hey, good stream of yours today. How did you feel about that Wednesday thing?
Oh, it was really fun, man. I learned a lot about my family. I've gotten a lot of people have come in contact with me in the last couple of days. So
sure.
It's good, man. It's good all the way around.
And we got a professional MMA fighter on here. It's a good show tonight.
Yeah, I saw that at the beginning, man. It was pretty funny. Dude's a fucking jelly green giant. It sounds like.
Yeah, that dude's fucking crazy, and like his brother is tougher than him, I guess, and like yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I was listening to all the stories. You put Tom to bed. It's pretty late for you, man. It's like 11:30.
Yeah, we're running a little extra on this one. That's fine though. We're just
burning
done.
the midnight oil.
I just thought I'd touch base with you and say what up. Give you a chance to tell the listeners where to find you.
I downloaded this new game called Stranded Deep.
How is it?
It's well, have you heard of this game before?
Mm-mm.
The concept is basically like you're in an airplane crash, and you get out and you have your raft and you have to go to all these satellite islands, and it's like how long can you survive for? You have to forage for everything, and you're like out of water immediately in 2 days, and you're like starving to death in like 3 or 4, and you're trying to like figure out just how to survive. It's pretty neat. So far, I haven't made it past day 6, Corey. I hate to tell you this, but I think in the event of apocalypse, we may be fucked. But it's fun, man. Yeah, and I got my internet tuned up over the weekend, so that was fun. My Xbox is running right around 300 down now and 20 up.
Damn, really? That's dope.
Yeah, and that's Wi-Fi speeds too. That's not hardwired. That's Wi-Fi speed. Yes, sir. So I got that all done. Yeah, it's been a good weekend, man. Other than the fucking chilly ass weather coming back.
Yeah, dude. It already snowed in May too. Already, by the way.
Oh no, I know.
Motherfucking Nate.
Yeah, Nate dips out. How does he just drop some prophetic shit like that and just fucking be like, nah, I don't want to live here
What do you
anymore?
mean drops that prophetic? He's been saying that shit verbatim since I was 16.
Yeah,
And
I know.
I've been trying to prove him wrong, and to this day, there has been one winter that I got him. One.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Well, any advice to the people before I cut you loose?
Yeah, call me earlier. Haha, snake eyes.
All right. I mean, that's fair. I can't help it. We just like everything was compact in.
No, you know me. I'm not mad about it. I just think it's funny.
Whatever. I was just trying to include you. You're right. I won't include you anymore. My bad.
Thanks, buddy. I really like feeling included, and thank you for giving a shout out for my shows and all the support you've given me. I just really like how supportive and emotionally
All
there
right,
you
well,
are for
that's
me all the time.
Stephen
And I
Tovar.
just
Gotta
want
go.
everyone to know that I
Oh,
love
hey,
you very much.
look at the time.
And, what time is it?
It's time for you to go.
I love you guys. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Goodbye. That's Stephen Tovar, miserable motherfucker with all his fucking bullshit, which is fucking fine by me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I had a bunch of shit that I wanted to get to that I didn't get to. So, that's kind of kind of like par for the course at this point, really. But you know what? Who cares? Let's find it. There it is. Boom. We found that. All right. Hold on. Boom. There we go. All right. Hey, guys. Thanks for doing this. We do this every day, Friday through Tuesday. Here's the thing. I might not be here tomorrow. I might not do a stream tomorrow. So look for me with an alert that it might be earlier. I don't know. But I'm not going to miss this fucking UFC. How the fuck are you going to miss this fucking UFC? Shout out again to Corey Cuppy, Korey Kuppe. Follow him on Instagram and Twitter. Awesome dude. Also, shout out to JB Live TV. Thank you for letting us simulcast. That was super awesome. Shout out to Tom. Shout out to Tovar. You guys have been awesome. That's our show. It's time to move into the end phase, baby. Here we go. All right, here we are at the end phase. Don't forget to go to Venmo and donate. Everything you give does help me. Venmo or PayPal at Corey Adam Comedy. If you're on PayPal, it's CoreyAdamComedy@gmail. You guys rule. Thanks again for all the support, man. I really do appreciate it. You guys have been rad. Also, I didn't talk about this, but we've picked a name for the show. I have logos coming. I have backgrounds coming. I have all this stuff coming. So we're going to wait till that to unveil everything. But we got the name. We got the brand image. We get all this shit coming. I'm going to program the fucking website, so I'm sure it'll suck. But here we go. We're fucking doing this. This shit's about to go lit. I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. I honestly might take tomorrow off. And I don't want to do that typically. And what I will probably do is move the thing. I actually, here's a question for you guys. And I want to ask you guys here that are here late. Would you rather I skip a night or would you rather I do it earlier? Because I could gear it up a little bit earlier than normal just to fucking do an episode. Maybe I'll do that. You know what? Tomorrow I think I'm going to go a little bit earlier. I think I will pop on earlier. What time is the fight? Says ran out of thoughts. The actual card starts here. Let's take a look actually here. We got, it's almost like I'm on a computer with the fucking internet. What the fuck? So the actual fight time is 9 p.m., which is 8 p.m. Central. Now, the prelim starts at 7 p.m., which would be 6. So I would have to do something at like 3 in the afternoon probably. Or just skip it all together. The prelim starts at 5:30, but nobody gives a fuck about no early prelim. The other option, too, is that I could half-ass cast at the same time. Like while I watch a little notepad of it over to the left that's just on and running the fights. And then you guys would see me do a show where I stop every now and again and go, holy shit, that's fucking rad. We do that. I don't know. I just want to say this, man. Honestly, thank you for all your support. I've looked at the Venmo, I've looked at the bits, I've looked at the Twitch income, and a lot of the reason I've been able to pay my bills is because of you guys, and I just really, really appreciate it. So thanks for coming with me. We'll do it again. You guys are awesome. Here we go. We'll see you either tomorrow or Sunday. I don't know which. You guys are awesome. Have a great night.